Have you ever just stepped back to appreciate how frequently devs used to cook back in the day? Because I've just got to say this now, Vice City hit different. Now sure, the next game in the franchise will blow expectations out of the water, and they were pretty high. It also even let you swim in the stuff. But Vice City was iteration done right. This was Rockstar North working smart, but also quite hard. Everything from GTA 3 was here, but better and expanded upon. Just when players were all starting to consider moving on from Liberty City, here was a new setting dropping like clockwork. There came a point in the early to mid 2000s where video games were constantly reaching new highs.
I've had wet dreams that weren't this good.
It didn't take a literal generation for a sequel to come out, and also generations felt more defined back then. We used to get a complete series or trilogy in a single console generation, unlike now where it feels like video games are more scattershot than ever. And I feel like I'm gonna be 40 before I get to play Gears of War 6, if that ever comes out.
Come on, let's do this.
But back in the 6th generation, Rockstar were just getting into their groove. Grand Theft Auto 3 was a critical and commercial success.
Yes! It worked, you guys! It actually worked!
Meaning there was only one thing for it, to follow up with a sequel, and fast. This just happened to not only be a highlight of the entire franchise, but one of the most revered games ever released. Sure, GTA 3 got the ball rolling, but Vice City got the attention of anyone who hadn't played that first game.
Everybody bought the whole act! They keep giving and giving until we have it all!
I don't know man, it just felt like this game was bloody everywhere back in the day. And like I said in my last video, it really ate GTA 3's lunch. There was nobody I knew that had a PS2 and didn't own Vice City. And when you take a look back at the best selling PS2 games of all time, you can see I'm not being hyperbolic either. Apparently cars just print money, either racing or stealing them anyway. And even though Vice City has been playable on and off the PS2 since it came out, it will always feel like a PS2 original. It does help that the PS2 is still the best selling console of all time, with it shipping over 160 million units, and the number of consoles even got updated recently. But this felt like Sony flexing more than anything else.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
What if they wanted to keep a bit of distance from the Nintendo Switch, as it starts to wind down? I'm so glad we can start moving on from that machine now, as revolutionary as it was. But if the Switch was a glorified DVD player like the PS2 was for many, it could have had a chance of breaking the record. But back to Vice City. Hell, I have such an affinity for this game. I even bought and beat it on the iPad of all things. And before you judge me, this was mainly done while sat at the back of a lecture. And trust me, I can guarantee it was in a better state than the definitive trilogy. And like my video on GTA 3, I'll acknowledge it exists, but that's it. I barely touched the thing and I don't really want to play it. Sure, I know they patched it to hell and fixed it eventually, but I got the PS2 originals ported to PS4 before they were delisted, so I don't really need them.
What the f is this piece of shit?
Taking a look back at the dev cycle in this game, there's no way you could call these devs lazy. And there was no doubt a hell of a lot of crunch was involved, as Leslie Benzies, Sam and Dan Houser spearheaded Vice City. Somehow this game hit store shelves a little over a year after GTA 3 came out, and full development didn't even start till 2002. Things were being spooled up for a Florida-based follow-up, but Vice City actually started life as an expansion for GTA 3. And for those who might not be aware, video games used to get expansions quite a lot. It was a faster and cheap way to cash in on a successful game. Basically, it was a really big DLC pack. And you can imagine it was, you know, like GTA London was to GTA 1 and 2. And I can only imagine how great a GTA game would be set in London, but it's just never gonna happen.
London?
Yes, London. You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
We do still get expansion packs from time to time, but back during the Attitude Era, these were almost guaranteed for a healthy seller. Announced at that year's E3, Vice City would turn out to be just more than the same. Now yes, the models are still crude looking, especially compared to today's standards, but it's no simple feat to, you know, build a whole new city within a year. And as simple as the graphics might be, this game has more style than half the games on the market today, especially when the Unreal Engine keeps looking more and more generic. Vice City featured 2 new islands, a totally different setting, and a whole new cast of characters. Much like the devs over at id, the guys at Rockstar North had essentially pioneered a whole new genre, and were coming back around to plant their flag in the ground and claim it as theirs. And much like id, the former DMA design followed up with a home run. And this was all before the rest of the industry got their chance to pump out GTA clones. Now Mafia did drop in the year between games, and was praised for its commitment to realism, but Vice City had no intentions of being realistic, as those at Rockstar North went for style, and something more in the vein of Scarface and Miami Vice. 2 on-screen properties that eventually get the GTA treatment in a video game form. Vice City wears its influences on its sleeve, and it's only fair that Tony Montana got his very own game.
Say hello to my little friend!
But in the video game space, there is and always will be one true king in the South, a man you couldn't imagine Vice City working without, Tommy Vercetti. Even if Grand Theft Auto 6 is just around the corner, that is unless it doesn't get delayed until the heat death of the universe. So as I've done before with the previous game, I'm going to take a look back at this one in a pseudo-retrospective type way, recounting what it was like to get the platinum, and well, spoilers for out. Anyway, if you want to help a lad out, then why not drop me a like and maybe a sub? I'm Ben Roy and join me as I take a deep dive into the game that really put GTA onto the map, Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah, well, I'd love to, but it seems that is about all we have time for, actually.
The list consists of 16 bronze trophies, 13 silver trophies, and 4 gold trophies. So Vice City has a few more trophies than GTA 3, but that should only really be expected with a sequel that did so much more. Though as this port came out in 2015, that means it was during that initial push to get PS2 classics on the PS4, meaning that this list is a bit anemic. Because even though there are a fair few games in that list, these are all essentially ports of little to no remaster to them. And then this ported version of Vice City didn't even add more trophies. It just swapped a few out whilst GTA 3 and San Andreas got more trophies. Though I just have to say off the bat, this trophy list is much more of a beast than it comes across. Because yeah, I'm going to jump straight to the trophy that might be the longest grind I've ever attempted, in a solo game anyway. And it definitely ran up my electric bill. Take the cannoli requires the player to get the criminal rank of Godfather. Now I'm sure more than some of you watching don't even know that criminal ratings are a thing in GTA, and I don't think I was either back in the day, not until I started my platinum journey anyway. Essentially, almost every action has a reaction, and a nebulous point assigned to it, which all adds up in a hidden system in the menus. I don't know why this system is here or why it was hidden, like you'd expect it to be on the main screen when you pause or something like that. Killing the residents of Vice City will raise it, so will blown up vehicles, such as cars, boats, and here's the crucial one, helicopters. Getting busted or wasted will deduct points from this rating, but it's negligible at best. Though if you get caught or killed during a killing spree, it's going to cut that killing spree off and you won't get the points for it at all, so watch out for that. But I'm going to be honest, if this ever occurs in GTA 3, Vice City or San Andreas, you might as well just reload your save. Because it's a pain in the ass going back to buy weapons and armor again. And money is more crucial in Vice City than it was in GTA 3, so you might as well save yourself buying all these weapons over and over again. Money also plays into getting the Godfather status, so you're going to want to accrue a lot of it. I didn't test this myself, but if you don't have a significant amount of cheddar when you pass the 1 million mark, this rank might not tick over, meaning the trophy won't pop. Entering cheat codes also chips away at this, even though they're going to be the quickest means of getting the bloody rank. So yeah, all I can really say about this is even if you have the entire game cleared, there's going to be a whole lot more work to do. And I'll be honest, this wasn't fun to pop at all. And I'm not afraid of some post-game activities, because I really enjoy getting 5-star ratings in Death Stranding, but honestly getting the Godfather rating is such a bloody drag, and at some points it feels like nothing's going to get you to that final rank. Like with GTA 3, it's best to knock off those vehicle-related side missions early.
The award-winning and soon-to-be executed Maurice Chavez. Barry? Are you okay?
Though gang members aren't as much of a problem here as they were in Liberty City, but they can still get in the damn way for sure, especially the Haitians. Beating them also reward Vercetti with some handy bonuses that come in clutch later on. Except delivering pizzas. That's just a new gimmick that the devs added because, I don't know, it was novel riding a scooter at the time. Sniping a seagull out of the air also nets a bronze, and honestly, I had no idea this was possible until I went for the platinum, and I sunk hundreds of hours into Vice City back in the day. Oh, and make sure to bribe the police on your way if the star rating starts to climb. Getting that legendary 6-star rating also pops a bronze, and so will obtaining 100 stars in total. Next up, unlocking the second island is key, as this pretty much gives the player access to the entire map, and this happens not long after completing Supply and Demand. In the PS4 port, there are 7 story mission related trophies to pop, both main and side related. Grabbing all 100 packages should be next on the list, and they've had a bit of a redesign this time. And like in the last game, Tommy has a fresh arsenal of weapons waiting for him at the save points. And this should lead nicely into destroying 100 road vehicles, because once the Rhino tank's unlocked, the vigilante missions become way more easier. This also becomes a quick way to earn cash, which is needed to buy the properties in Vice City. Now we only need 10 of these for the trophy to pop, but the more you own, the more save points you have. And many are also going to help generate cash along the way, which I've already mentioned is needed to get that Godfather rating. With the main story beaten and Take the Cannoli still not achieved, there are going to be some trophies to be cleaned up before the endgame grind.
Oh man, the struggle between the artistic integrity and the humping pumping action continues unabated.
Like getting all those RC missions done, robbing 15 different stores, and popping off 100 heads. There are 2 miscellaneous trophies, one for earning a high score of 5 or above by keeping up a beach volleyball, and you get the other one for doing an extended wheelie. Stunt jumps and collecting vehicles are also back on the menu.
Listen, It was an unfortunate accident what happened to my wife on that precarious cliff.
But thankfully, unlike GTA 3, grabbing all the necessary motors won't be as painful as it was then. The jumps are cool too, I guess, and this should all play into the 100% completion trophy. And it's also a sneaky avenue to get the player to do all the rampages, but without the trophy this time. And with all that done, Tommy Vercetti will have a fancy t-shirt to wear around town. It's almost like the devs are laughing at anyone who went to all this trouble. Thanks, Rockstar. The story of Vice City is an amalgamation of a bunch of different real-world events, and also some popular movies and TV shows. Because for those who weren't aware, this was the gateway for cocaine into the United States, back in the late 70s and well, the 80s and probably beyond.
Hey, Tommy, this stuff keeps you sharp, man. Woo! I could be your stick-up man. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up!
You ain't a stick-up, man. You're an idiot.
Sparking off the cocaine wars which turned the whole place into a modern day Wild West. And this is all actually toned down in Vice City. Unless you switch on the right mode G anyway. Learning about all these events over the years, it's wild people just lived their lives during this time, in this little cocaine craze that they all found themselves in.
Now you do old Auntie Pulea Turner, maybe she help you. Maybe she can give you a little juju after all of this. Give you some magic to give the lawman the stink eye.
After serving a stretch in a maximum security prison, Vercetti is essentially exiled down to Florida, getting him out of his boss's way, Sonny Forelli.
Well, what are we gonna do, Sonny? We treat him like an old friend and keep him busy out of town, okay?
Who's played by Tom Sizemore, who nailed the sergeant role in not only Saving Private Ryan, but also Black Hawk Down. These were two movies that he felt like the anchor in. I'm not sure how often this specific mob story's been told, or if it's happened all that much in real life, but it's always a solid base to tell something special. Like just look what Taylor Sheridan's gone on to do with The Tulsa King. In that show, Sylvester Stallone is basically Tommy Vercetti, but in Tulsa and, you know, not fake Florida.
25 years, come on. Nobody does that kind of time.
The drug deal Tommy Vercetti's been put on goes south, like almost instantly, and he only makes it out alive thanks to Rosenberg, who plays the wheelman here. And playing Rosenberg is William Finchner, who really gives Rosenberg an unhinged edge to the character.
I have been sitting in this chair all night with the lights off, drinking coffee. This is a disaster.
Most people probably know this actor from the opening of The Dark Knight.
You have any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead!
But he'll always be my home from prison break to me. And with that show being 20 years old, it's probably due a rewatch.
I snapped. Right there. That's where I put the bullet in him.
Rosenberg also acts as the initial quest giver for Tommy, as he gets him set up and sends him out into the city. Or as Tommy gets himself set up as Rosenberg's a blithering mess.
Now where is the goddamn money?
Relax. We're not at that part yet.
Oh, I thought that you were taking care of this. I really did.
From here, it won't be long before Vercetti meets a rogues gallery of characters on a yacht, all courtesy of Colonel Cortez.
Could you look after our guest while I attend to my necessary obligations?
Of course, Daddy.
We see Mercedes, Kent Paul, Candy Sucks, Avery Carrington, a young Donald Love, Jez Torrent, Steve Scott, and of course, Ricardo Diaz.
Colonel! Your party's as ever a triumph!
But I'll get into them in more detail when we get to the respective missions, and who plays them because the cast listed in this game is insane. Though I should probably get into the lead character himself, Tommy Vercetti. Unlike Claude in the prior game, Vercetti is actually a character. He isn't just a blank slate for the player to control and cause chaos with. He's got wants and needs, and an actual personality now.
Been saving for a rainy day. You like?
Yeah, I like.
Thanks to the character now having a voice, this majorly opens up the scope in a relatively new genre, even if many players prefer their open world protagonists not to have a voice. But I'm just not one of them. There's only so much reading I want to do whilst playing a game. The late Ray Liotta plays the legendary Tommy Vercetti.
When you do this game, people, you think, okay, I'm just going to do this voice, it's not a big deal, and then it became a huge hit, and it's sort of part of the pop culture now. Is that surprising to you?
Totally. I had no idea. I'm not a game player. I was never a Pac-Man guy when that first game came out. I was never into that stuff at all.
And if I'm being honest, this is perfect casting. I couldn't imagine a better fit.
Look at Tony. You see him? That was my fucking partner. That was a cop. Enough. Let go of him, Figsy.
Partly because Ray has played similar roles in so many of his past works, and you don't need to look any further than Goodfellas.
By the time I grew up, there was $30 billion a year in cargo moving through Idlewild Airport, and believe me, we tried to steal every bit of it.
And of course, Cocaine Bear. His performance alone gave Tommy an edge that GTA 3 was just missing.
You prefer men, big boy?
I like women. I like all women. I love my mother, Chico. All right, I'll take your word for it. Relax.
Thanks to Ray's superb range, he can go from the tough guy calling the shots in the room, and then to one on the back foot, and even the butt of the joke in some scenes. Sure, he might have just become the drug kingpin in Vice City, but that doesn't mean Vercetti can't be mind controlled or something like that.
This is all very, give me what? I think I got the wrong address.
Give me these things, Tommy.
Or grovel to a bunch of bikers for help. I don't know, maybe it's just me being biased, but I'm just going to come out and say this. This is Rockstar's greatest GTA protagonist. Now, I can't say overall because we all know Arthur Morgan is the GOAT, but Vercetti is definitely up there, even if he does come from a different era, a more simpler era. You can even go in and change Vercetti's outfit from time to time, with some missions requiring him to go undercover. Now, his palm tree shirt is iconic after all, but I don't know, once the man gets settled, I always feel like a suit fits him better, especially when he shares cutscenes with Lance Vance. Vance showing up is also a major shift for the story, as Vercetti goes from the man outside to someone who will very soon be the centre of everything in Vice City. This is also where Diaz comes into the fold, and he's being built up to be the game's main antagonist.
I want you to take the speedboat and beat all the other shitheads to it. Then you bring the cargo here, okay?
But nah, once he's out of the picture, there's still many hours to go. This is how a story correctly subverts expectations, because conquering the drug trade is only the first step. Vercetti's next aim is to buy up all the real estate and businesses he can. This all felt like a real step up from the first game back in the day. Well, for me as a kid anyway. It really felt like the possibilities were endless in Vice City, and the game was never going to end. But now as I've gotten older, I can maybe see this was the devs' way of extending the runtime just a bit. Or maybe that's just the cynic in me. Though this section of the game essentially becomes one of the more memorable parts, and it does something we don't see often in many stories, and certainly games. It expands everything out again, with a bunch of new characters and missions. Almost as if the devs wanted to start the classic drug kingpin story, and then move on, almost getting out of the way. Though as Vercetti rises throughout the ranks, there are going to be some of those around him who are going to become jealous, and even feel emasculated.
You call this handling it? You two, off your asses. Let's go.
Which will eventually bring the game's story to a close in the Vercetti estate. And to this day, this double turn feels like it comes out of nowhere. Even if it does make sense, I guess.
Sorry, Tommy, this is Vice City. This is business.
You sold us out.
No, I sold you out, Tommy. I sold you out!
It all just feels a little bit truncated. I'll get into it later, but it feels like there's 2 hours or maybe a few missions that I'm missing to really hammer home or show the on-screen turn of Lance. I'm not saying I needed this spelled out, but it just happens over the course of a few missions. And with Sonny and Lance out of the way, and all his properties still intact, Vercetti still has one man by his side who's been there from the very start. Rosenberg. I guess they can snort their way off into the sunset, or at least the 90s, where the jig for this sort of thing would eventually be up. Mostly.
You know, Ken, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful business relationship. After all, you're a conniving, backstabbing two-bit thief, and I'm a convicted psychotic killer and drug dealer.
I know. Ain't it just beautiful?
Tonally, Vice City is a huge shift from GTA 3 in almost every way. This is helped by the characters, but of course, the city is the real star. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I just adore Vice City, and there aren't really many sections I want to avoid, if any, like I did in GTA 3 and later San Andreas. It's all good having an open world design, but if it's just too big or awkwardly designed, there's just no point to it or it just doesn't work. I've said my piece on open world games in the past, and a lot of them just seem to strive for size and scope rather than actually crafting a world. Sometimes travelling to an objective can be the point, like with Death Stranding. And I'll get into this when I get to San Andreas, but there's just so much of that map that just isn't needed.
See, they got him hiding up Mount Chiliad someplace, so they can manipulate his testimony any way they want to.
I want you to pay him a little visit, Carl, and destroy all his evidence before he testifies.
There's something about Vice City and its map design that gets open worlds just right. It's bigger than GTA 3 and has a lot more going on, but it's not to the point where you can't retain this into your memory, which is one of my major gripes of a bunch of open world games, and spoilers, the next one in this series. And unlike say a GTA 4, it helps that the 1980s Miami setting, which inspired Vice City, transports you into another world and time, really making this a period piece game. And we don't get enough period piece games. Sure, I love science fiction and exploring new worlds, or even a space station filled with necromorphs or xenomorphs, but there's something about being transported to an actual place in time, well kind of, that just helps me get lost in this world. And regardless, whenever I play this game, I don't mind getting lost in this world, because here in the UK we have beaches and seaside resorts, but nothing matches to the sun-kissed landscape that Tommy Vercetti sets to take over. And I know Vice City is more of a fictionalized idyllic version of Miami, because I've actually been there, and yeah, I know that city has its rundown parts as well. And why did I go there? WrestleMania 28, of course.
Look at this.
Look at this, it's perfect! Chicago is perfect!
Vice City drops the player outside the Ocean View Beach Hotel. This faces the beach and is always populated with those looking for a sandy retreat, or a local bar. Then as the sun goes down, the neon colours come out and illuminate the strip. Heading north of Vice Point, the first island has clubs, a mall, and a bunch of luxury residential areas, all as the beach disappears thanks to towering hotels. And on the other side of the island, it's bordered by new developments waiting to sprout up, well until Avery gets involved anyway. There's also a golf course detached from the first island, so I guess it was an excuse to get a bit of greenery in there. It adds some much needed biodiversity that we had in GTA 3 with its Central Park. It also doubles up as a maze for some boat missions later on as well. Starfish Island is a super exclusive section of Vice City, with it featuring a bunch of massive houses and manors, but it's compressed down here compared to its real life contemporary. You know there's gated communities like the ones you see on Palm Beach? Thankfully Jeff never owned any of these properties though. As for the rest of the island, the streets have been much wider and lined with palm trees, almost like they're trying to put up a fake facade. But from what I saw in Miami when I went there in 2012, I can see that the devs got this mostly right, and those American roads are like 400 lanes compared to the pitiful 2 we get. I've already mentioned the dev time in this expansion turned sequel was super tight, but the character models had a huge upgrade in just a year.
What do you think of this boner I got?
They emoted more, they had better shapes to them, you could really tell their faces apart, and on Cortez's yacht, it was just an excuse to show this all off. Each gang also at least gets a few character models now, rather than just the one copy and pasted over and over again. It's a raw example of how accelerated game dev felt at this time. Sure, the character models are simpler and there's less pixels involved, but what Rockstar did with what they had really made a massive impact, and felt like a true step up. And because of the setting of Vice City, it really felt like Rockstar was opening the blinds, getting rid of the fog, and just showing what they had to offer. On its worst day, Vice City never looks as dingy as Liberty City. The other smaller island, Prawn Island, is based off the Bay Harbor Islands. It still has a few massive manors, but nothing as flashy as Starfish Island. Though this island is a lot more run down than anything else in Vice City, and it stays that way until Vercetti turns up and buys the movie studios. The second island is mostly split into 3 major sections. Downtown, which is the reason Vice City is a thing. You know, with all those banks that just exploded in the 80s, because there was a need for them. It's got nothing to do with the copious amounts of cocaine coming through the states via Colombia, whether it be by land, sea or air, courtesy of Tom Cruise in that one movie. Little Haiti and Little Havana are a mixture of where the working man and gang affiliates reside, with a feature in docks, factories, and a bunch of industrial areas. This is also where the Cubans and Haitians can be found, as they fight each other in a never-ending land grab that Vercetti gets pulled into thanks to a phone call and a cup of coffee. Capping this island off, there's a military base and the airport, which really help round out the entire map. I also forgot to mention that north of this map there's a giant stadium, just to cap things off up there, and that's probably where I went to see WrestleMania 28. With each decade that goes past, you can say this game has aged a fair bit, especially compared to its contemporaries, but in just under a year, Rockstar went above and beyond what they achieved in GTA 3. They improved upon everything when they built Vice City, and then in just 2 years they would go on to blow this game out of the water. Like with GTA 3, Vice City will continue to break up the game into missions that the player can take whenever they want. This will go on to become a tradition with Rockstar games, and a bunch of other open world titles, meaning sure you could just go around the city and see what the sandbox had to offer, but beating these missions will slowly unlock more toys to cause crime with, or you could just use the cheats, but I didn't this time around. Vice City also opens up with a cutscene that lays the land for the game to come.
People will remember soon enough. When they see him walking down the streets of their neighborhoods, it will be bad for business.
Like any good crime lord, Sonny Forelli has expansion on his mind, and he just happens to have a spare body fresh out of prison to do all his dirty work down south. This way Sonny can stay up north and reap the benefits.
We've been talking about expanding down south, right? Vice City is 24 karat gold these days.
Also he plans anyway, because the mob and other families up north still adhere to the criminal code. So Sonny can't be seen getting his hands dirty with drugs or anything like that. These families didn't want the communities they had built to be infected with the chemical enhanced shit that'd either go up their nose or in their veins. Now sure they weren't saints, but at least they had some sort of order to them.
But it's all drugs, Sonny. None of the families will touch that shit.
Though Sonny could see the times changing, and he wanted a piece of this action.
We send someone down to do the dirty work for us and cut ourselves a nice quiet slice, okay?
Cutting to Vice City, we can already see the games can be a lot brighter, with its tropical climates, pastel colours, and what the locals choose to dress in. Tommy Vercetti also hasn't said a word yet, and I wonder if this was intentional, after Claude being a mute after all. Rosenberg, though, he can't keep his mouth shut.
They are very keen to start a business relationship, so if all goes well, we should be doing very nicely for ourselves, which is, you know, good.
Of course, the deal doesn't go to plan because we need the game to happen.
Oh, shit! Come on, get out of here, drive!
So after laying low at the Ocean View Hotel, it'll be time to pay Rosenberg a visit. And my method of transport to get to him, I opt for the pink moped scooter. This was a major addition to the GTA franchise back in the day. Two-wheeled vehicles were faster, more nimble, and they allowed the player to shoot ahead, rather than just from each side. They allowed for more creative getaways. Simple, but very impactful.
Jeans, want to use money from the statue for building my own palace in Hawaii? You think that's wrong, do you, son? Do you, huh?
No, Mr. Pastor.
They also came with a degree of risk as well, because whoever's sitting on a bike is going to be an open target. Whether that be bullets, or a traffic collision, you just can't help but run these guys off the road.
Hey, stay away from me. I'm a celebrity. Oh, good lord. Mind yourself, boy.
Coming back to Sonny Forelli, he checks in with Vercetti.
Hello, Sonny.
Tommy, it's been too long.
But also on the table, he's got a bunch of suspicious packages on there. Are these the drugs from the cutscene earlier, or was this just a coincidence? Was it hinting at something to come?
That was my money, Tommy! My money! You better not be screwing me, Tommy, because you know I'm not a man to be screwed with!
Wait, Sonny.
You have my personal assurance that I'm gonna get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm gonna mail you the dicks of those responsible.
Hey, I already know that. You're not a fool, Tommy, but I warn you. I'm gonna let you handle this.
Look, Sonny, you got my word.
I'll be in touch.
The party is the first real mission in Vice City, and it involves getting to know the who's who of the town.
We are so screwed, man. These gorillas, listen to me, are gonna come down here and rip my head off. It's ridiculous. I did not go to law school for this. Okay, now what the hell are we gonna do?
Shut up, sit down, relax. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You're gonna find out who took our cocaine, and then we're gonna kill them.
But as for as iconic as Vercetti's look might be, he's gonna have to change his clothes before attending the party.
Shut up! I'll go myself.
Oh, whoa. Hey, I like 1978 too, but you know, this isn't gonna be a beer and strippers do. I mean, no offense, but I think that you might turn heads on the runway for the wrong reasons.
What's wrong with the way I'm dressed?
Okay, look, here, stop by Raphael's. Tell him I sent you. He'll make you look respectable.
And it's crazy the devs took Tommy out of his iconic look so soon, just because this really didn't happen back then. But it would go on to set the standards early that this was a new mechanic, and players weren't just locked into one outfit like they were with Claude. Dying will return Tommy to his original outfit, but as I said earlier, I prefer the suit. And I don't know if it's just me, but has this line delivery always sounded a bit weird?
Nice bike.
Getting to the party, Vercetti will be greeted by Colonel Cortez, who is surprisingly one of the real good eggs in the game.
Buenas noches. I understand you are here on the behalf of Mr. Rosenberg.
And from here we meet the star-studded cast that Rockstar brought in for this sequel. And this was the peak of Rockstar hiring famous names for their characters, especially when it comes to the main lead, as Ray Liotta went on to say that he didn't have a good time recording these lines for this game, and the relationship between him and Rockstar seemed to just melt down. I don't know if this was Ray being all Hollywood on them, but Rockstar would never use a big name for their lead again. Though they don't have the best track record when it comes to the leads not being happy in their games. You just gotta look at GTA 4 for that as well. There's everyone on this ship, from Robert DeVee to Danny Dyer. Robert has been in countless movies, from The Goonies to Predator 2, but his most notable role has to be Senor Sanchez in License to Kill. Danny Dyer is a national treasure of my home country, and if you don't think so, maybe you've got something wrong with you.
You know, I've got to say, you know, my bum is flapping a little bit.
Or you just can't laugh.
Yeah, see me bollocks, everything's in order.
Burt Reynolds needs no introduction, but we all know Cannonball Run is a crowning achievement in cinema, and that plane landing at the beginning inspired my playstyle for all the GTA games.
Yep. Could get a black Trans Am. No, that's been done.
Next up we have Kevin McKidd, who most players will recognise him from the old Modern Warfare trilogy, but for me, he'll always be Tommy from Trainspotting. He's also brilliant in Dog Soldiers, and if you've not already, watch that after this video.
I think it's all over. It is now.
Bowser himself is even on board, with Dennis Hopper.
Looks like I win.
And it's so wild that Rockstar got names like this to play essentially side characters, with a bunch of these guys feeling like cameos. The last name of note to show face, for now, is Luis Guzman.
Colonel! Your party's as ever a triumph.
He's a real working actor with endless credits, and nails Diaz in this game.
Once they put this together, it's gonna be what they say.
off the hook.
Mercedes!
Oh, I was just taking my friend back into town. Another time, Ricardo.
Ricardo, let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Then get Mercedes to the pole position will round out this mission.
See you around, handsome.
And as Tommy watches her walk away, one of the most satisfying music stings in all of video games play. Even all these years later, it still sounds so good. Back Alley Brawl is about Vercetti expanding his reach in Vice City.
What did you find out?
That there are more criminals in this town than in prison. We need a lead from the streets.
Okay, let me think.
So what better way in doing so than paying Kent Paul a visit?
Yeah, I'm the governor around here. I'll sort things out. You know what I mean? I'll treat you. Whatever you want, I'll get you.
Funnily enough, he did eventually become the governor.
Get another drink, bruv.
You can also say what you want about Kent Paul, but he isn't wrong here either.
Listen to me. I'm missing 20 keys and a lot of cash.
Drugs, mate? It's a mug's game.
What do you know about it?
Taking out the chef will ensure we won't have to read a pager anymore, like Claude had to in GTA 3.
Hey, what you looking at? You better start talking.
And this mission also introduces another key player in the city.
Oh, way to go, tough guy. Beat him to a pulp. That should make him real chatty.
You want some too?
Hey, chill. I want what you want, brother.
Oh, yeah? And what's that?
Your green and my dead brother's white lady. Unfortunately, you just silenced our lead.
Accidents happen. Get lost.
The way I see it, we two hombres in a strange town. We need to watch each other's back.
My back's just fine, brother.
You sure about that? Here, take this. Follow me.
Dealing with the backup, this is where the game reveals that there's more than one type of each weapon to play with, across several different categories, so the player can pick and choose what they want to roll with. And this wasn't something I was into back in the day, because back when Vice City came out, other games let you hold every weapon you picked up, so I wasn't really keen on making a choice here. But you have to remember this was around the time Halo was getting going, so I think that was one of the only games I played that made me pick between weapons. And of course you've always got to roll with the needler. This means Vice City also has multiple weapon cheat codes. As they split these weapons into sets, police bribes are also back, because it's the 80s after all. And getting into our friend's fancy Lambo looking car, it'll be time for Tommy to get his hands on a real piece.
One thing you gotta realize about this town, you gotta pack some heat. The local gun shop is a couple of blocks away.
Ammunition has been revamped as well, with it looking and feeling more like a shop now. A slight upgrade from GTA 3, but it makes all the difference. And it also means you won't accidentally buy what you don't need, like I did in GTA 3. And this was the best ammunition out of the PS2 trilogy, because buying weapons and armor in San Andreas was a bit too cumbersome, because you've got to watch the guy pick up the weapon or armor, put it down on the desk, he asks you if you want it, then you buy it, then you've got to watch all that again as you select something else. I mean, come on, I don't have all day.
Wise choice, sir. Wise choice.
This is where we'll say goodbye to our new friend, for now.
I'm gonna go see what I can dig up. I'll be watching you, Tommy.
Jury Fury just goes to show that Rosenberg will never not be on edge.
Oh, for God's sake, it's you. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna need new pants.
And after the mission briefing, the game will be helpful enough to hand Vercetti over the right tool for the job.
Dumb Florida moron.
Even though the hardware store is just down the road, which again just works like ammunition. Just looking at this mission and the few prior, it's already evident that Rockstar are getting their formula down, and they've made massive improvements on GTA 3 already. That and there's a lot more to these opening missions as well. As this mission shows off the upgraded destructibility of cars, and it makes smashing 2 cars with a hammer interesting enough. You've also got to appreciate the weather and how it's been improved on too, and by that I mean you can still see the game whilst it's raining. Vice City never gets as gloomy as Liberty City did on its best days. And finishing this mission, Tommy's phone will start to ring, with a certain impatient person on the other line.
What are you doing? So tell me, Tommy, what are you doing?
I'm looking for the money, Sonny. Don't worry.
I am worrying, Tommy. That's my style, because I seem to have this problem in my life with unreliable people. Don't be an unreliable person, Tommy, please. Do us both a favor. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Rye gets Tommy personally introduced to Avery Carrington, and all the ways how a good contractor works.
Son, you help me, and any greaseballs giving you a hard time, I'll see to it they take a long dirt nap.
Okay. What could I do for you?
This delivery company's got its depot on some prime land. They won't sell. They're hanging on like a big old prairie rat. So we gotta go in there and smoke that vermin out.
It also requires another visit to Raphael's, because Tommy's going to need to blend in. Starting a fight is simple enough, but once this gets going, it becomes a bit of a clusterfuck. Because you're going to need to get in and out of there fast, because all the workers are going to start fighting each other and come for Tommy, so you're going to have to get through the gates and use an old reliable stable of video games to blow the vans up. Seriously, how many red explosive barrels have you shot in video games? I personally couldn't count. I think websites like Giant Bomb used to try and catalogue this, but I bet that's way out of date now. Weaving around the workers and blowing the vans up can prove to be a pain in the arse though. So getting out of there, I take the last one for a joyride, just so I can destroy it in peace. Thankfully, I remembered where the shotgun spawns, and that was it. And just like that, we're done taking missions from Rosenberg. He'll be back, but the tutorial section of the game is well and truly over. And I've just got to say, Rockstar did such a better job with this section than 3 did. There's already so much more variety, and the characters are so much more interesting. And Vercetti's already a standout character himself. And I'll probably keep saying this, but it's mad how they achieved this in just under a year. Back in the 6th generation of consoles, devs are really cooking. The game also now opens up, with Avery's missions available, as well as Cortez, who wastes no time getting in touch with Tommy.
If you'd like to talk to me more privately, you can find me at the boat, huh? Okay? Good day, senor.
Don't make me get my beam.
Treacherous Swine sees the return of the Colonel, and before Tommy can locate his money, Cortez has a little job for him.
Lobster?
No, thanks.
I am ashamed to admit that one of the causes of our mutual problem appears to have been the loose tongue of a man I used to trust. I've been carrying Gonzalez for years, but now his incompetence reaches new heights. It's only right that you kill Gonzalez.
Did he do it?
Poor Gonzalez. He only ever existed so we could have a throwback to Scarface.
Use this.
Now you can just kill him, but what would be the fun in that?
I'm gonna shut that big mouth of yours.
Steal the money back.
He's got a blade. Stop running, you fat slime ball.
This is the point where I'm pretty sure the game plans for the player to learn how to spray their cars, so they can lose the heat and a bit of a get out of jail free card. But thanks to picking up a bribe, I negated this and just carried on.
Hey, you double, I'll be double. But you're squealing. No one cares, Fatso.
Next up, it'll be time to pay Avery a visit with 4 Iron, a mission I still remember causing me so much pain back in the day. Tommy's a true professional for turning down some good bourbon.
Would you like a drop of the old Kentucky?
No thanks.
A clean thinker. I like that.
This is yet another mission that sees Tommy having to change his clothes as well. Even though Tommy's face doesn't move outside of cutscenes, he never looks happy in this outfit.
Is this me?
Nice ass, baby.
Now as for the mission, it expects you to chase the fuck all around the golf course and maybe beyond. And this is all after dealing with his goons, without any firearms, because when you enter the club, they make you leave them behind. I have real nightmares of this mission, so I make sure I don't have to go through all this shit. After knocking all the golf carts in the water, this means there'll be no easy way for this guy to escape. I also very nearly end up in the drink too, and just like GTA 3, the player can't swim yet. And with this mission I proved scientifically, chainsaws also beat golf clubs.
Do that, psycho!
Demolition Man is an infamous mission within the GTA series. I still remember my friends and others bitching about this on the playground. People hated it that much. And yeah, kids were definitely playing this game that was rated 18. Haha, the good old days.
I'm no builder.
No, I was thinking more of your demolition skills.
And it even came up in conversation the last time I got a tattoo, as my tattoo artist even remembered how shitty this mission was, so it just proves that probably most players had the same experience. But playing it now, this thing isn't all that bad. Maybe it was just tough for a kid to get to grips with, but honestly the Top Fun RC helicopter controls fairly well. Maybe it was just the limitations of the RC chopper, and the fact that the controls weren't that arcadey compared to the rest of the game. Then throw in a time limit and only a few helicopters to respawn with, and I can see why we all got frustrated here, and why this mission's gonna always be hated. I can see our generation bitching about it all the way to the old folks home. But honestly, just focusing on the targets and ignoring the workers is the way to go. Sure, some security guards are going to pose a threat, but you can just kill them with the blades. As adorable as this helicopter is, it's certainly deadly. Landing the bombs will leave this new development permanently altered. And also a little aside, what the hell is that fire engine up to? More shootouts, a bit of a weird mission.
A favor for a friend, Cortez?
You're a good friend, Tommy. I knew you would not let me down.
Meeting the courier isn't the most demanding mission either. But once you reach the guy, this is where things get a little weird.
The rain, she's très wet this time of the year.
What?
And I can say this, as I've been to Paris twice now. I've never seen anyone dressed like this. Also, what the hell are the French Special Forces doing here? Don't the GIGN need to be back in Rainbow Six? Anyway, the game obviously expects the player to have a bit of a shootout before they chase the courier, which then leads to a high-speed chase on motorbikes around the city. But nobody's got time for that, so I gun him down before he can get away. And then getting the chips to Cortez, the heat will magically disappear.
Tomas, I appreciate your coming. Forgive me for getting straight to business.
Sticking with the Colonel, Guardian Angel is a mission about to expand Tommy's horizons. Before getting to the meetup, it'd be time to pick up some equipment, and this is where a familiar face will show up.
Hogging all the action, I see. Look, you want to do something other than just shadowing me everywhere? Why don't you come along and show me if you're any use?
I might just do that. The name's Lance, by the way. Tommy Vercetti. Let's go.
And this is probably the best place to mention that Lance is played by Philip Michael Thomas. And not only that, but he plays the character that Lance is based off in that show. Once again, Rockstar wearing their inspiration on their sleeve. I bloody love Lance though, he's such a cool character, and a perfect partner in crime for Tommy. When they both rock up somewhere, you know shit's gonna go down. Especially once they're both suited and booted. But they're here because Diaz needs a bit of extra muscle for the deal with the Cubans. And for some reason his guys are just useless.
You must be Cortez's new gun.
Until more gainful opportunities arise.
So after getting in position, the deal starts to go down. And there's no funny business. This is also the first time we've seen the Cubans in Vice City, and they're going to have a bigger role to play later on. But for now, unfortunately, they're just cannon fodder, as the Haitians make their attack. Thankfully in this mission though, there's handy health indicators for both Lance and Diaz, something that most missions should have, but they just don't include. Unlike the Uzi or pistol, the assault rifle has a different aiming function, much like the M16 in GTA 3, so no locking on here, as everything's free aiming. Honestly, it's a little twitchy to handle on controller, so flipping to the shotgun will ensure Diaz survives this one.
They think they can take on Ricardo Diaz? Give me that!
But yeah, as this is the Cubans, that means the Haitians won't be far behind to cause some shit. Switching to the Uzi should be enough to deal with the rest of these guys, though I feel like the Tech 9 is more suitable for the setting. To the point I called this the Vice City gun when I was younger, and I still do sometimes, it hasn't really left me. And it's quite shocking how this mission doesn't become a clusterfuck, because this is early 3D GTA, and all these vehicles could just fucking explode. If this was GTA 3, I'm sure it'd be messy as hell. There's also a couple of layers to this mission, like with a few we've played so far. Once the Haitians are dealt with, a few more are gonna rock up for a little chase. There's a real cinematic feel to this that Rockstar would only go on to perfect with their next titles.
My money!
But as I said earlier, I feel like this was their perfect blend, before they got a little bit more too realistic. The PS2 era just hit different, but I can't take away from some of the later Rockstar games, especially Red Dead 2. Chasing down the final Haitian shouldn't be too much trouble either, especially with the ability to shoot forward off a dirt bike. And getting back to Diaz, he'll be as pleasant as ever.
I live! Take heads, and it's all down to you. What is your name?
Tommy.
I see you soon, amigo, I think.
Shit. Where's that guy, Lance?
Taking a break from the main story, it'd be time to answer the payphone. And this isn't as random as it was in GTA 3. What if Mr. Black calling Tommy on his cell phone first? Is this a Reservoir Dogs reference? Who knows? Maybe, I hope it is. But why does Tommy need to go to the payphone after the guys contacted him on his cell? Look, I know governments have been listening to us all for a long time now, but surveillance wasn't all it was cracked up to be back in the 80s. Not like it is now anyway. Hell, it's shocking the CIA or FBI weren't listening to every goddamn payphone call back then. Even pre-Patriot Act. Then again, I guess the instructions are taped to the bottom of the payphone, so that answers my question.
Your next shot is taped under the phone.
Roadkill sees Tommy having to put a pizza delivery guy out of commission. And all I can say about this mission is, it was a nice touch calling him Mr. Teal, because once again,
I understood that reference.
Holding on to the Sanchez from the last mission, this fuck never stood a chance.
And I actively want to fatal
Waste the Wife is a classic payphone mission, but you've got to apply GTA logic to this one, because well, how does this look like an accident? But in the world of GTA, cars go boom.
Oh my god! Or is that Solace? Oh my god. Some visit lady friends up.
Now heading to see Diaz for his first mission, we get to see what the real man is like.
Stupid horse! I'll chop your head off! Who is this thickhead?
Tommy Vercetti. You remember me.
Excuse me, I'm a little anxious. Never trust a goddamn horse!
Diaz hasn't had to take no for an answer for a long time, so for now, Vercetti works for him.
You work for me now.
I work for money.
As I said, amigo, you work for me now.
I work
Shut
for
up! Some Judas has betrayed me. He thinks I don't know how much money I should be making. But stealing 3% is as good as stealing 100%.
And maybe if Diaz paid his people well, they wouldn't skim off the top. It's funny how drug lords and corporations have the same thing in common. And with this first simple mission, Vercetti's gonna play along.
This asshole thinks he can mess with me? If this is the best Vice City has to offer, this is gonna be easy.
After getting to the thief's apartment, he's not there, because he's already made a break for it.
Oh, shit!
After a chase on the rooftops, a scooter's going to come in handy, and the devs knew what they were doing here with the scooter, because you're going to have to avoid the thief's gunshots whilst you keep him in visual range. Following him back to Prawn Island, he thinks he's home free, when Diaz has other plans.
What kind of incompetent fool are you? Fool! 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 Fool!
And then the plot thickens as Lance is here, and for some reason he's going by the name of Quentin now. But nothing's going to come between him and his brother, as he'll explain.
What are you doing here?
Hey, I've been asking around. It's obvious that Diaz jumped the deal and iced my brother.
And he'll kill you too.
I can take Diaz.
No, listen to me. I'll handle Diaz. He's beginning to trust me.
Phnom Penh 86 is essentially an aerial drive-by, but the hardware in this is a lot more serious than a few Uzis, because you don't take an M60 to your average drive-by. This mission's name is also a reference to the capital of Cambodia, which was used as a base in the Vietnam War. All this mission really needed was Flight of the Valkyries to cap it off. But like with every mission that takes place in a vehicle, the stellar Vice City soundtrack will always accompany it, to give this game a real vibe. And looking back at this game, Rockstar were really ahead of the nostalgia curve of Vice City. And by that I mean that this game felt like it came along before everything lent on the 80s, and how cool that decade was. Sadly though, this is a video on the internet, so I can't play the soundtrack. I had to shut the radio stations off for the most part. Bar VCPR, more than most games, Vice City understood how important it was to have a solid ass soundtrack. But Laszlo is always a fair substitute.
A solution so stupid, I cannot bring myself to explain it for him. Yet like breakdancing, it is sadly catching on. A man who appears on this fine show because our previous know-it-all panelist was carjacked and is now at home arming himself to the teeth.
After taking out the gang members on the roof and the terrace, it'll be time to take Diaz's fight to the ground level, and the Tech 9 is the only way to go here. What if this man being enlisted with sneaky fuck around every corner? This is an old school Resident Evil, so Vercetti needs to move and shoot, otherwise he's going to get melted. After collecting the money on the roof, we'll be greeted with another mission complete sting. Oh, and as another bonus, this mission unlocks the second island. Though not long after getting back to Starfish Island, Cortez calls Tommy up for another request. He's been a good friend so far, so it's only right we go straight there. Though going off how the Colonel sounded on the phone, it felt like this mission was going to be way more laid back, but it really isn't.
I have a proposal that you could profit.
I don't have time to run more errands, Cortez.
I would have thought a man with such dangerous dates would be hungry for opportunities. Please, Tommy, at least hear me out.
Go on.
So yes sir is a simple mission that just sees Tommy needing to get some military hardware. You can't mess about on this one though, as the soldiers escorting the Rhino tank are armed to the teeth, and taking on these guys head on will send Tommy to an early grave. It isn't even until getting into the cab of a truck that I feel comfortable taking on these guys. But the vehicle doesn't last long, as the Kruger automatic rifle almost destroys Tommy. And really, what will the devs think with this mission? Like, what was their main way to take this whole thing on? I know a rocket launcher does spawn this island, but the player's not going to know about it yet, and they can't exactly destroy the tank either, otherwise that'd be a mission failed. Finally getting into the tank after using the little cover there was in this mission, there won't even be time to go on a standard rampage, as a self-destruct sequence has been activated, and the only way to stop this is get into the Colonel's lockup before the meter fills up. 2-Bit Hit is both a blast from the past, but also a look into the not too distant future. What of a young Donald Love showing his face?
Donald, this here is Tommy Vercetti, the latest gunslinger to come to these parts. Now, Donald, you just shut up and listen, and you might learn something.
But he's sitting there silent listening to how Avery works.
Now, nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war. Except maybe a disaster like a biblical plague or something, but that may be going too far in this case.
He'll employ this tactic himself later down the line.
Nothing drives down real estate prices like a good old-fashioned gang war, apart from an outbreak of plague. But that might be going too far in this case.
You getting this down, Donald?
Heading to Little Havana, it'll be time to change Vercetti's clothes again, and dress up like the Cubans. At least this game didn't try and make him dress up like the Haitians. Causing chaos at the Haitian funeral, this mission is capped off by chasing a hearse that has more caskets than The Undertaker.
Buckle up, Teddy.
But thanks to the ability to shoot forward, this makes this chase trivial. And And before I can get Tommy back into his suit, a call from a stranger comes through looking for Leo.
Hey, if Leo knows you got his phone, he's gonna kill you.
Maybe Leo's already dead. Maybe I killed Leo and took his phone. Did you ever think of that, prick?
You kill Leo? You must have big cojones. Wanna work for me?
Thanks to Avery, the Cubans and Haitians have a lot of unfinished business now.
Well, that ought to put the coyote in the chicken coop, huh? And then we'll just sit back and watch the prices tumble.
Heading back to Starfish Island, Diaz fancies himself a new ride, and he wants the fastest boat in Vice City. But it's not like he's gonna drive the thing.
Rumor has it the Boatyard has just completed such a vessel for some Costa Rican dickhead. And Tommy, I want that boat!
At this point in the game, what Diaz wants, he gets.
Ah, I thought I got you! Where'd you come from? Pigeons!
I think your pigeons are back.
And those at the Boatyard don't really put up much of a fight, especially the mechanics with their hammers. After lowering the boat in the water, it'd be a simple ride back to Starfish Island, but we will see this boat again. Finishing that mission, Tommy gets another call from a mysterious benefactor.
Get to the payphone next to the mall in Washington.
Autoside is Rockstar's way at taking a cheeky jab at the competition at the time, which all rose up in the wake of GTA 3. Dick Tanner is a reference to John Tanner from the Driver series. Marcus Hammond, Franco Carter and Charlie Dilson are references to The Getaway. Mike Griffin is thought to be a reference to the main protagonist of Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. And finally, Nick Kong and Nick Kang are from True Crime Streets of LA. So in 9 minutes, the player's gonna have to take all of these guys out. And if you wasn't aware, none of these game series even exist anymore. So GTA 1 lol. Some might be wondering why isn't Tommy wearing his suit anymore? Well, the cops busted me in a previous attempt. This strips Vercetti of everything, even his current outfit. And the same is also true of his wasted. Mike is simple enough to take out of a sniper. Dick Tanner on the other hand, he makes Tommy work for his meal. Those bloody armoured trucks only ever seem to work one way. Marcus and Franco are simple enough to take out, with them just being in the standard vehicle, whilst Nick really runs the timer down as he's out in the water. Finally, Charlie can be dealt with in classic GTA fashion. Because really, who can resist not doing this?
Something to say? I agree. Statistics show that families that...
He was asking for it being on that motorbike. Taking on Stunt Boat Challenge will be like stepping into a whole new world for Vercetti, because this is the first mission for the Cubans, and his first face-to-face with Umberto, who's basically a more over-the-top Danny Trejo.
You're a boy. I think so, you know.
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, yeah? You come here, tough guy. You think you'll take me on? You think you'll play stupid with me?
No, I think you're playing plenty stupid enough for both of us.
Hey, he call you dumb, son. And I call him a little girl, Papi. Look at him, all dressed up like that. What is this, ladies' night?
Though he does have subtle nods to Scarface.
You dress like a woman? You got on panties like a woman too, huh?
What do you got against women? You prefer men, big boy?
I like women. I like all women. I love my mother, Chico.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Relax.
Unfortunately, this is a boat driving mission.
Can you drive, amigo?
Yeah, like a woman.
Very funny. I like you, big boy.
But thankfully, Rockstar started to streamline this somewhat, by having the courtesy to teleport us to the mission. This isn't something they would do every mission, so I don't know why they chose to do it here. Most of the time it feels like half the game is driving to a mission. This mission is simple enough though. You've just got to drive through each checkpoint to prove how big Vercetti's cojones are. Beating this mission will trigger a phone call from the other side, as the Haitian missions will now be open up to us, thanks to Auntie Poulet.
Tommy, enough dead man been chatting about you, my dear. Thought you might need something to make you feel better, so Auntie Poulet make you some stew, eh? Come and check me kitchen sometime, okay, Tommy?
Return to Umberto's calf. Cannon fodder will see the erratic Cuban getting a little serious. He doesn't even make a joke about cojones, or women this time.
Amigo, you drive good.
For a woman, right?
This is no time for joking. Come on, drive for me again. Amigo, take my boys over there. If they mess with me, they mess with the biggest boy in town!
Tommy needs to drop off some Cubans to the front line, but I've got to mention that no 4-seater car spawned around here, so it took me about 10 minutes to find one. If a mission just needed a car like this to get from A to B, then it should have just given the player one. And the mission is pretty self-explanatory, as this is just an unfocused charge and attack on the Haitian operation.
Dang!
And after breaching the first line of defense, a sniper will be waiting. Dealing with him, Tommy and the other Cubans will soon find out they're outgunned. And for some reason this van is vital to beating the mission, like you need to get it back to the CAF. This is bullshit because it never plays any part in the mission again, apart from being forced into it last minute. And Rico could easily get out of this when it's on fire, but he doesn't. Honestly, this is some of the weaker mission design in this game, especially when there's no good reason to use this thing. So after several attempts, no I'm not joking, I get that poxy van to the CAF. I don't remember this giving me so much hassle back in the day, but this time around it was hell. Do you have any random missions that refuse to play ball in Vice City or any other GTA game? Because I feel like there's always one, or in my case a few. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Naval engagement starts pretty abruptly for me, because as the last mission was ending, the police forced me into this one. Oh, and as I mentioned it in the last game, in Vice City, Danny Trejo's the one to flub his own character name. In the opening cutscene, he mispronounces Umberto's second name, but we've all been there.
Tommy and me, Umberto Rubino, they're doing whatever they like. Umberto Rubino, he likes the ladies, not some goat in a skirt. Umberto Rubino, Umberto Rubino, the Rubino, the Rubino.
But it's not as noticeable as in GTA 3.
Tony Cipriani. Him, Tony Cipriani.
Meeting Rico at the docks, I'm wondering why the game couldn't just teleport us here like they did before.
Hey, Rico, nice boat. You ready?
See, Tommy, now you be a good shot today.
And why did we do a boat driving challenge in the first place, if none of the other Cuban missions even revolve around driving a boat? Because Rico insists to drive, as Tommy shoots. This mission is brutal and the opening provides no cover. So without body armor, I doubt anyone's getting out of this opening section alive. Then it's a case of peeking out to win the stragglers before they can drop Tommy. Once you grab the case, more Haitians arrive and end Rico. He should have got out of the boat like he should have gone out of that fucking van. And come on, what was the point of keeping him alive for like 5 more minutes? I wasted so much time on my weekend to keep him alive. And for now this is the Cuban mission line done, as Tommy's going to start playing for the other side, as he goes to meet Auntie Poulet. Juju's scramble starts off in a confusing way. What if Tommy not feeling himself?
Come in, my dear, and rest your soul. You must be the big bad man my granddaddy been chatting about.
He only falls deeper into a trance once he takes a sip of Auntie Poulet's special tea.
I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
I got a message to come here.
Can you hear them? Them calling your name, boy, must want you pretty bad, don't you think?
Played by Yuri Dale Harris, she was best known as Miss Cleo, who was a televised psychic back when that was a thing. It isn't clear what Auntie Poulet knows, but she seems to have chosen this job especially for Tommy. I should rather put him in danger than her own people.
Now be a good boy, Tommy, and go and get the powders for Auntie Poulet.
Yeah, sure.
The first case is being watched and triggers an instant 2-star wanted level, and the wanted level system is pretty much identical to GTA 3. 1 star sees the police chasing the player, and I don't think they shoot either on 1 star, they just use their nightsticks. 2 stars will see them shooting at the player for sure, and they will never give up the chase. 3 stars adds a helicopter to the mix, and by this point undercover cars get involved as well, which is probably a little nod to Miami Vice. 4 stars brings in the SWAT, and spike traps will be deployed on the road. 5 bring the FBI in, who love a game of destruction derby. Then 6 calls in the military, with their big ass trucks, and of course the Rhino tanks. There's only 1 minute to grab the next case. That triggers a 4-star wanted level, and with only another minute, the final case triggers a 5-star wanted level. Immediately my Tommy gets turned into jam. But thankfully this area of Vice City is complete with a bunch of alleys and side streets, which helps to scramble back to Aunt Poulet, because I wouldn't have made it back alive otherwise. Auntie Poulet isn't done with Tommy just yet though, and she's got more work for the aspiring drug kingpin.
Now, Tommy, I'm going to whisper a little errand for you. Hear me well, aye?
Bombs Away is another RC mission, but this one sees you controlling miniature planes, not helicopters.
Me nephew been making little flying bombs to take them out. Blow the boats to Kaufman wood.
And this is arguably the harder RC mission in my eyes, with it taking place over water, and this is a plane, not a helicopter, so you can't just hover in one place. You've got to keep going forward, because that's how planes work. The Cubans also don't mess around here, as they've got a bunch of guns, which is another aspect that makes this more harder than Demolition Man. Because the security on that side only had pistols, these guys have got ARs, and taking the boats out can be a little tricky, because once you destroy one, the rest will become moving targets. And just when you think it's over, there's going to be a car making a break for it, though this final target isn't all that much trouble. And as I come to the final Haitian mission, I should probably mention the controversy around this gang, as they're one of the more underserved groups in Vice City, and at one point there was even a line in the game that said kill them all. This is a work of fiction after all, which is loosely based on real events, but some people still have a problem with this sort of thing, and I can't see why people took this the wrong way. This led to the line being cut from the game in later releases, and before that some missions were even cut from the game in certain regions, especially Germany. Take-Two and Rockstar would eventually apologise for this line, but at the end of the day, it's fiction. And it isn't a real call to kill them all, and this is a character calling to kill other characters, not the real life people. And in terms of Vice City, it's just trying to mirror real life, and being satirical where it can. And I can't help but think this isn't too far off from the people that say video games cause violence. If that was the case, do you know how many GTA players there are? We'd all be out there stealing cars and trying to kill people. And also, this game came out several generations ago now, and I'm sure most of the players around the world are upstanding citizens, or at least functioning ones. And sure, there are certain edge cases where people take things too far, and even reference a game after they've done some heinous acts. But that's a very, very small percentage. Content, context, and intent are key. It's all I'm saying. Dirty Lickens is the final mission from Art Poulet, and with his best Wojak face, Play even wants Vercetti to turn the tide in an upcoming battle.
Hush now! One more thing and I can let you go, Tommy.
This is meant to be an honourable fistfight between factions, but she's cheating. Losing too many Haitians or being seen will fail the mission, as Tommy needs to stay out of sight and use a sniper from afar. Even me, who loves a good sniper mission, has to admit this is a tricky one, especially when reinforcements turn up with bloody swords. You'd almost expect one of them to have a trident. Trojan Voodoo is the final mission in this brief detour that Tommy has taken from the road to take over Vice City. And I'm just remembering I've only briefly mentioned Danny Trejo playing Umberto.
Something like this.
But I assume most people watching this would know who he is, but then not everyone's a film lover like me. As a kid he was an addict, and then he was in and out of prison for 11 years, and he committed a wide array of crimes, but eventually got clean and found his way into acting. From there he became one of Hollywood's most prolific character actors, and he always felt like he had a real edge to him. Trejo is a legit badass, and is featured in so many classics, like Con Air, From Dusk Till Dawn, Spy Kids, and of course Machete.
You better make damn sure the bad guy isn't you.
You can see his head riding along the tortoise in Breaking Bad.
That's me.
Oh, and he's canon in Star Wars too.
Rancor are emotionally complex creatures.
To come from the bottom and have a career like he has, Trejo is one of a kind. Back to the mission at hand, this is actually the infamous I'm gonna kill some Haitians mission, but with or without the line, Umberto still wants to put an end to the operation, even if he goes on rants about making love.
Tommy! Tommy! I love you! I love you! Let's go!
Go where? Can I get a cup of coffee first?
No time for coffee. Besides, I just had one.
You've got to love how nondescript Umberto's briefing is. Almost like the devs weren't really clear what the mission was going to be, and they probably only had Trejo for an afternoon.
You go and get us a little car. When you get it, come back and pick up my boy, Pepe, and take them out to such and such, their processing plant.
Whatever you say, Umberto.
Though it is a shame he never joins Tommy on a mission. That or it would have been cool to defend his calf or something like that.
Boom! Bye-bye!
Umberto, what about you?
I'm going to stay behind and watch over the cafe with Papa. He's not feeling so good, you know?
Now in a voodoo car, apparently the guards can't spot the full convoy of Cubans. Much like in GTA 3 when this happens, it's a little suspect. Even if this is a reference to a real life event that took place thousands of years ago, at least everyone was hidden in that wooden horse. This mission though can get messy fast, especially if you don't take everyone out before planting the bomb. With only 45 seconds, there really isn't much time to mess about. It also doesn't help that I had a brain fart whilst playing this mission. Seriously, I try to play these games blind and get the most natural experience I can. Sure, I've played Vice City a bunch, but I can't remember every single aspect of every mission. So yeah, it's a long way of saying that I forgot that you can't just exit through the gate, and there's actually a staircase out of the facility off to the side. But I missed it, as in my next attempt I used the voodoo car to climb out, almost like a Skyrim to my way out of the mission. At least this 20-plus-year-old game allows for some improvisation. And then finishing the mission, Tommy will eventually get a call from Umberto, for old time's sake.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you, me and Papi, to us, you're Cuban. You have proved yourself, man. You got big cojones.
Well, thank you, Umberto. Nobody said that to me since I left jail. See you around.
Back to the main story, it's time Tommy paid Diaz another visit. He's having VCR problems. I would love to know how many people played this game that have never even used the VCR. I still have one in storage, just in case.
Bro, yo! It is my favorite El Burro movie, it died. What else can I do?
It's probably not plugged in.
What? Damn! No matter. I can buy 100 more.
Supply and demand is a mission of two halves. Thankfully, Lance is there to do half the boat driving, and he's a bit of that pain. At this point, Lance is the coolest cat in Vice City. I just want him in every mission.
But I know one day I'm gonna save your ass, and you're probably gonna want to kiss me.
Wacko.
It's also all good having the fastest boat in Vice City, but that means jack shit when you drive it around a tight marina maze. Getting to the cargo, Tommy takes his hands off the wheel and grabs an AR. And this is essentially a turret sequence, and thankfully it's pretty manageable. I'll take this over racing the boats any day.
You're a real, proper grade A lunatic.
Well, thank you.
See you around, Tommy.
Okay, Mr. Lance Vance Dance.
Before the two can arrange any sort of plan, Tommy gets a call from Kent Paul of all people, and it turns out Lance might have overstepped his mark.
I reckon you're going to owe me a favour or two out with this, sunshine. I'll see you later.
Poor Kenny's only trying to help and he always gets the rough end of the stick.
If you know what I mean.
Where did he take him? In plain English.
Keep your party on.
Immediately after this cutscene ends, Lance's health starts to tick down. This is essentially a time limit, but we see his health bar in the top corner instead. The man is literally on death row, as the mission is titled, so there's no time to dawdle. The junkyard is also properly locked down by Diaz's goons, and this has become a running theme, but those bastards are armed to the teeth. This mission also presents a unique challenge, because normally I take my time and kill each guard as I go. In these sorts of missions, rushing about normally leads to a game over. But thanks to Lance's health ticking down, there's no time to be a cerebral assassin here. So really the best thing you can do here is run a gun, because I found standing in one place and using the AR was a quick way to become wasted. And I'll give it to the devs, this mission was quite a tough one. But getting to Lance, it isn't over yet.
There goes my careful planning blowing this shit. Thanks to you. You screwed up real good, Lance.
He killed my brother. What do you expect me to do, mow his lawns?
Thankfully the time limit's over, but you still gotta get Lance to hospital. And from my experience, this goes one of two ways. You either don't make it off the block as you're bombarded by those bastards, or you clear them and you're home free.
Exactly. Get patched up and meet me on the bridge to Star Island, okay?
Okay, I got you.
Before Diaz can be dealt with, it'll be time for Tommy to invest in some real estate, which I really should have bought earlier. This condo only costs 14 grand, and it comes with ample garage space and a helicopter up top. It's a real bargain, and it's also necessary to get the platinum later. All hands on deck is the first sign the guard is about to change, as Cortez needs to get away from French jurisdiction. And I'm just going to say here, I'm glad Cortez and Tommy never fell out, and they had a pretty decent relationship. They never crossed each other and left off on decent terms, which is a rarity in Vice City.
Wouldn't it be safer to fly?
I'd be dead before I reach check-in. Besides, I need to get my merchandise out of the country.
Need another gun?
You, my friend, are worth 10 guns.
And in a way, this is an escort mission, combined with a pseudo-turret sequence, though this mission isn't as painful as it sounds, thanks to there being actual backup with the Colonel's men. And taking out the French isn't that much of a scramble either. Even when they try and blockade the bridge, they're quite easy to take out. And who do these guys think they are? The Trade Federation?
This is getting out of hand.
After one last desperate attack from the air, these guys will drop in from helicopters, and even dispatch a bloody Apache helicopter. Once the way is finally clear, Cortez can reach open seas.
Tomas, you have protected and served me well. But now you must leave us before we reach the open seas. I will lower my personal launch.
With one final farewell, I'm not sure the Colonel meant this when he asked Tommy to look after Mercedes.
One more request. While I'm away, could you keep an eye on Mercedes for me?
I think she could look after herself, but sure, I'll keep an eye out.
Gracias, amigo. Hasta luego.
Adios, amigo.
After this mission, Kent Paul then calls up with some more information.
Boasting is a mug's game, son. Anyway, I heard there's some prize been put on your head and someone's gonna have a crack at you, so watch yourself. And remember me, mate.
And then I can barely get out of this fucking boat. Honestly, the water is so deadly in these games. Now this would be the last GTA game where swimming wasn't a thing, but fucking hell, getting out of a boat is such a faff. With Cortez out of the city, it's time to take over and get rid of Diaz for good.
I got us some cannons in the trunk. Holy shit. Where'd you get all this stuff?
Been saving for a rainy day. You like?
Yeah, I like.
Though with the opening cutscene, I'm reminded that most of the missions take place when Tommy arrives. Most cutscenes just look better in the day, though here I've got to concede and say this really works. I think anyway, as it makes sense that these two would storm Diaz's mansion at the dead of night, or early morning, and by the time the sun rises on Vice City, there'd be a new king in town. The mission itself is fine, but Lance's AI isn't the best if I'm being honest. And I do fail at least once because he decides to walk in front of me and tank most of my magazine. The M4 is fine for an outside assault. That is after I popped off a few heads with a sniper. Getting inside the mansion, you're going to need to use different weapons though, so I switched between the Tech 9 and shotgun. The interior of the mansion is also modelled after the one that Tony Montana called home back in Scarface, and this mission is almost a reverse of that climactic sequence.
Diaz! I've come to take over your business!
Tommy, you betrayed me, you idiot! I'm gonna kill you real soon!
Diaz, he's no match for the new Vice City power trip.
You stupid pricks! My beautiful house! Look what you've done to it!
This is for my brother!
I trusted you, Tommy.
So with one double tap, he's done for good.
I would have had you made!
Say goodnight, Mr. Diaz.
Shockingly, this isn't the end of the game though, because Sonny Forelli is still kicking about. Though I'm sure no one would bat an eye if Rockstar ended the story here, and just dealt with Sonny in a cutscene, or threw him in the mission. And yeah, because this is Vice City, we're gonna get a call from Kent Paul, as a whole new chapter is about to begin.
Tommy, son, have I got a surprise for you? I'm down at the recording studios with some major artists. Why don't you pay us a visit? You know it makes sense, don't ya? See you later.
Now the trash has been taken out, it'd be time to get a real grip on the city. And to this day, I still remember being blown away that there was like a whole nother game in here, because Vercetti's got his own missions now. You can also buy up places and essentially produce unlimited cash, and a bunch of characters from earlier in the game are back as well. And if this doesn't sound special in any way, I'm sorry, you just had to be there.
Listen to me, the time to take over this town is now. It's all out there waiting for us.
We need to start seizing territory. And let Vice City know we're the new players in town. You know what I'm saying?
What you need is a legitimate front, Tommy. Real estate. It's never done me no harm.
We need to start using some muscle, or we can kiss all that hard work goodbye. Local business know Diaz is dead, and they're refusing to pay protection.
Oh, we could try bribery. Bribery? Screw bribery. I'll show you how to make them scared. I'll be back here in 5 minutes.
Shakedown starts with Tommy asserting himself to the top of the food chain, and it's a pretty rough mission to kick off this new era. With only 5 minutes, you need to go over to the mall and break a bunch of windows for the stores that are refusing to pay protection. Now it sounds simple enough, but there's a bunch of security guards and cops that get in your way, and you have no time to deal with them, so you've just got to run past them. Completing this mission will unlock the ability to buy properties that will eventually produce cash, so it's a means to an end. And even though we've been shown we can buy properties, Avery calls up Tommy just to remind him.
There's a lot of opportunity in this town if you own the right real estate. You catch my drift?
I reckon so.
All I'm saying is keep your eyes open, and you might find the perfect business opportunity. I'll catch you later.
Later, Avery.
And of course after that, Sonny checks in, now that Diaz is done.
You never write me, you never call. Don't you want to be friends no more?
I've been busy trying to sort things out. You didn't give me a lot of support down here, Sonny.
Oh, my fault, is it? Well, I've heard you've been busy, all right. Busy killing drug barons, busy taking over. Don't forget about us, Tommy, because I can assure you, I ain't forgotten about you.
The next Vercetti estate mission is Bar Brawl, and it feels like we skipped a few chapters in the story here. Lance just seems to be bumming around now. He's drinking and not doing much so soon after the victory. It isn't obvious yet, but this is the turning point for the two here.
Don't worry, Tommy. I can handle it.
You call this handling it? You two, off your asses. Let's go.
Getting over to the Renegade Bar, it turns out a local security firm is trying to muscle its way in on Tommy's turf. So dealing with them should be simple enough, right? No, not really, no. These fucks have a small army and they're armed to the teeth. Yeah, another faction that are armed to the teeth. They melt Tommy in seconds and render the friendly goons useless.
You want a beating? You're going bye-bye.
After a few attempts, getting a decent vantage point on these bastards will be the only way to mow them down. And then it will trigger 2 more that will try to escape. The rookies are on bikes though, so not even the police can save them. They never stood a chance, and it's a weird way to end this mission. Then once the mission is done, we get a phone call from Lance to really hammer home his feelings.
What's the problem, Lance?
It's you, my friend. I feel you're not giving me a fair slice. And more than that, you've been embarrassing me in front of the boys. I can't have that.
Lance, it ain't like that. You've been making mistakes.
Tommy, I'm not your message boy. I'm not your running boy.
Lance, don't screw up and we won't have any problems. I screw up, you can lay into me anytime.
Tommy, I done everything for you. You treat me like a fool. Don't do that.
Lance, I won't rip you off or stab you in the back, okay? Just take it easy. This is tough enough without you getting all emotional on me. Trust me. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I hear you, Tommy, but I can't take this much more.
The next mission is named after a film that Ray Liotta starred in, along with Sylvester Stallone. You never see many people talk about it, but it's a bit of a sleeper hit. If you're scrolling through Netflix or Prime or whatever, and you see it there, I recommend giving it a shot.
What's the problem, fellas?
Mike was supposed to torch someplace in the mall, but he screwed the fuses, and now the cops are crawling all over it. We gotta get our stuff and get out of here.
Relax, both of you. Let me think for a second. Tommy Vercetti just doesn't cut and run.
Now as for the mission, it involves getting into a cop car, then getting a wanted level and drawing 2 cops into a garage.
We gotta go in and torch that place ourselves.
Yeah, but no one but a cop could get within a mile of that place.
So we go as cops. We gotta get uniforms and we're gonna need a squad car.
And we all know by now that certain garages in GTA are just get out of jail free cards.
Tie him up and gag him.
It's perfect.
Bit tight around the crotch, though.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
Arriving at the mall, Tommy and Lance do a bang-up job staying undercover.
Remember, smile at the other cops.
Hey there, officer. Nice badge.
Real smooth, Lance.
That is until the coffee shop goes boom. Triggering a 5-star wanted level, this means the FBI are going to rear their ugly faces. So after the FBI ran the police car to hell, it was time to change vehicles to get back to the Vercetti estate. And with that, that's the Vercetti asset missions done. Which means the Vercetti estate is now going to start earning. And this property generates a maximum of $5,000 a time. Passive income, every man's dream. Though even after the good news, Lance is falling into a dark place, as he tells Tommy his life story. For all the superb writing in GTA games, this just isn't it.
I ain't interested in what you gotta say. Why should I be? You don't care about me, do you? You gotta look after me a bit better. Give me a spare slice, you know? Hey, Tommy, man. Hey, I'm sorry. It's just that people patronize me all my life, treat me like a little kid. My brother would do that. Please, man, don't do that.
Taking a break from running Vice City, it's time Tommy went and followed up on that phone call from Kent Paul, as he gets properly introduced to Love Fist.
Hey, Tommy! Glad you could make it. Hey, you ever met Love Fist before?
No, I haven't, but I've always loved your music.
Let me introduce you to the band. This is Percy, Dick, and Willie's in the Kazi, and that was Jez in the booth earlier. And guys, I want you to meet a good friend of mine. This is Tommy. We go way back.
Right, pal. And, what was your name again?
Leave it out, Jez, you remember. Don't be playing them games with me, mate.
Man, I can't not smile when I hear these glorious accents. My family come from East London, but you can't beat a great Scottish accent.
We need some drugs, pal! Gotta get on the old Love Fist Fury, you know?
Yeah!
Well, this is Vice City, man. What's the problem?
Love juice, man.
We need love juice men, gang.
Love juice?
Aye, 2 parts boomshine, 1 part trumpet, 5 fizz bombs, and a litre of petrol. Can you help us out, pal? Oh, it would really mean a lot
You
to
can
the
do that for the boys, right?
With a list of ingredients, you've got to appreciate Tommy. He's essentially on his way to becoming the Don around here, but he's got time to help these guys out.
I got what you need. Thanks for the money, sucker.
And jokes on this dealer, because he's on a bike, so shooting ahead will deal with him. It'd also be time for Tommy to keep his word with Cortez and catch up with Mercedes.
Oh, no. Hey, Mercedes.
Hiya, Tommy. And how are you?
Just fine. Listen, fancy having Love Fist?
Okay. But just as a favor, I expect return.
And just because this mission needs some added tension, Love Fist need this all before they get on stage next. Now I've got no problems with a mission like this, but it does seem oddly placed in the story. Maybe the devs just thought this would mix up the pace later in the game, or it was meant to come before the Diaz missions. But regardless, who doesn't want to help out Love Fist?
I see you later, big boy.
She tried to kill her brother.
Don't argue with me. I write books.
Okay.
Psycho Killer just goes to show that being a rock star isn't all smooth sailing. Tommy can't have anyone monkeying around, so it'll be up to him to see what's what.
Man, am I glad to see you.
What's going on?
Bad vibes, Tommy.
I'm not joking, gang. It's heavy stuff, man. Heavy, gang.
This cat, we hardly know him, but he knows us.
Oh, shut up. I've had enough of you, little tart.
I'll see Love Fist ruined my life.
The Psycho doesn't make things easy either, as he drives around erratically and seemingly has no method to his madness. And thanks to a glitch, he isn't marked on the map either. But with that done, it'll be time to visit the bikers before the Love Fist missions can be finished off. Alloy Wheels of Steel introduces Mitch Baker, and I'm just gonna say it now, it's a real shame this guy wasn't in more of this game. Sure, the runtime of Vice City isn't exactly short, but running around this town with him would have been a winner.
I'm looking for Big Mitch Baker.
Who's looking?
Tommy Vercetti.
Now, I'm not in a biker gang, but I imagine winning a race against their members would impress them.
We only do favors for our own. How do I join?
At least a little, anyway.
This ain't no country club, boy. Can you handle a bike?
Can you sit on a stool and drink?
Cougar, Zeppelin, go see how this girl handles a bike.
Thankfully, this race is fairly easy though, and even after I wipe out, I still win.
Dig deep and dig soon.
Returning to the biker bar, Mitch is already warming up to Tommy.
Hey, Vercetti, Cougar says you can handle a bike pretty good.
Yeah, how many more errands am I gonna have to run? I'm a very busy man.
And now he's also more informed on him as well.
Being one of us ain't just about brawling. It's about being part of a family.
Yeah, I've been part of a family before, all right? It didn't work out.
For those who don't get caught up in Mitch's speech, they might notice a certain NPC off in the corner. You know that one just in the floor with his head poking out? Why did this happen and why wasn't it patched out? No bloody idea. But this many years later, I still can't believe it's there. The mission itself, it's so-so. Basically, Tommy's got to go out there and cause chaos to fill up the meter. And all this before the time runs out. Now, even if this is commentary on the country abandoning its veterans, it is a bit mean-spirited, and it's one of the rare GTA missions that requires the player to attack innocent people. For as interesting as a mission like this could be with all its themes, it falls a bit flat, and I can see why this mission got cut for certain countries.
So get out there, grab a bike, and show this city how pissed you are.
Hogtied is the final mission from Mitch, and the last time Vercetti's got to prove himself to the biker gang. Though this mission is fairly simple, pull off a sick jump and then steal Mitch's bike back, and shoot random gang members along the way. Then returning the bike to Mitch, he agrees to run security for Love Fist.
Hey, it's Mitch. You did good, Tommy. It's good to have the old girl back. You tell Kid Paul he'll get his security for the gig. You have my word on that. Now keep yourself out of trouble.
So with that, it should be safe to finish off the Love Fist mission, right? Well, turns out no.
Didn't they kill him, man? And now he's back?
Yeah. The thing is,
we need someone to drive the limo we can trust, because that nutter keeps making threats.
Michelle, man, I need my mom.
we're all breaking ourselves, man.
Okay, guys, calm down. I'll handle this. Normally, I wouldn't busy myself with driving around a bunch of drunken Scottish bisexuals. But in your case, I'll make an exception.
And I don't think anyone else has ever said that sentence in mankind's history. Getting into the Love Fist limo, Rockstar decided to borrow the plot from Speed for this mission.
You try and slow down, your limousine will explode, along with your big airy asses.
The guys inside even reference it in a way. It's a bit of a shame that Rockstar couldn't get Dennis Hopper in this mission as well, as he was the antagonist in that film. Keeping over a certain speed will stop the bomb from detonating, just like in the movie.
Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up.
But eventually, Love Fist will work out how to defuse the bomb.
No! Man, we're okay. We ain't been blown up. Tommy, man, this is one rock and roll, man.
And we got a gig to go to. A racket to make, groupies to abuse.
More fist! More fist! More fist!
Aiming for the long straights in Vice City is the way to go here, because you don't want to faff around with some of the side streets, because if traffic builds up, the limo's going to go boom.
I should have dumped you off.
Even though they recorded a few Love Fist songs for this game, sadly we don't ever get to see the band perform them, so Tommy and the player aren't treated to a performance, even though Baker got to enjoy it. So what's the deal here? Did the devs just not want to animate this? They made the stage but not the performance. It's a bit lame. I don't know, I'd love to see one more mission with Love Fist, one where Tommy has to defend the band as they perform. That'd have been cool. Again, the placement of Love Fist so late in the game is a bit weird, as by now I don't really think Tommy would be dealing with these sort of problems, but it helped mixes things up, I guess, and it's a break from buying up all the properties. And it does pay off what we saw on Cortez's boat earlier, so there's that.
Do you know how they play ping pong in Thailand? Let me tell you, it does not involve a paddle.
It's now time to start buying up Vice City, and the ice cream factory is first on the docket, and partially the reason I did this is because it's fairly cheap. And I remember the mission being fairly simple. Previous owner, however, she seems to have a bit of a screw loose.
Were you now or at any time a child?
What are you talking about?
Were you a child?
Yes, calm down.
What's wrong with you? A child.
Though if you hate kids, then I guess you wouldn't want to sell a legit ice cream.
What is wrong with you? You make soft ice cream, okay? It's purely for kids. What kind of psycho are you? Just so I understand this, why make children happy if you hate them?
Oh, you stupid, sniveling, snotty...
Shut up!
Brat! The ice cream is a front. We distribute other non-dairy products. And if I see a kid, I put him to good use. Don't die, kiddies. Yes, I do. Mommy doesn't love you. She hates you.
Distribution is the only barrier for the player to start earning from the ice cream factory. Selling these special ice creams will soon get the attention of the police, and if you don't pay attention, this is an easy way to get busted.
Banish these weaklings and...
I am not resisting arrest.
So I find it easier to complete this mission on the first island, as I can remember where most of the police bribes are located, and there's no hostile gang members to worry about over here either. After 50 consecutive special ice creams are sold, a maximum of $3,000 will start to roll in the ice cream factory. The Boatyard was next up, with this being another cheap property. It's also best to get the simple ones out the way early. The guys running this place sound like they've fallen out of a teen sex comedy from the 2000s though.
Which one of the boats is the fastest? It's already in the water, dude. I thought you might want to try her out. Dude, she's already running with a 300 horsepower engine.
And the fiberglass hull, she just shoots through the waves.
She can do like 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat, dude.
She can hold like 20 barrels of the best Jamaican smoke right in the hull.
So go ahead, dude. She's ready to fly.
Yo, suit dude. You got a light? Dude.
Checkpoint Charlie is a basic boat mission, with a clever name for those who know. Collecting all the packages before the time runs out will cause revenue to start generating, at a maximum of $2,000 a time. Sticking with the same island, Kaufman Cabs just happens to be for sale, though this mission is a bit more involved than the past two, and actually has a few missions to be done. Doris also seems to have everything worked out.
What are you, mob, cartel? You don't look Mexican. Anywho, I guess you better get on with the things are gonna change around here crap. Maybe threaten one of the drivers.
She's definitely watched plenty of mob movies.
Well, yeah, things are gonna change around here, lady.
Oh, crap, Sonny. Might as well leave this to me. I've been doing this for years. Now, here's this. We are now under new management, and things are gonna change around here again.
VIP seems like a simple enough taxi fare, when those bastards from the rival company just have to get involved.
This is my fare. Back off, asshole.
After reminding the VIP that he got in the wrong cab, simply taking him to the airport will pass the mission. Friendly rivalry only escalates the feud between VC cabs and Kaufman cabs.
Calling all cars, we're losing fares all over town. What's with you guys?
But this mission doesn't really have much to it, because all you've got to do is destroy 3 cabs. The final cab mission is something a bit different. Cabageddon sees a special request for Tommy to go and pick up Mercedes.
Car 13, we got a Miss Cortez. Asked for you especially.
But when you get there, she's nowhere to be seen. Now Vice City becomes a car combat affair, but the name of the game here is to survive, not attack. Lasting 1 minute will trigger the boss cab to appear.
Hi, Angel. Do you want to read a book or go outside?
It's time for Kaufman's cab's guardian angel to eat some fender.
But this isn't anything a Tech 9 can't solve. Killing the fuck will complete the mission, and allow Kaufman cabs to start earning a maximum of $5,000 a time. It also makes these cabs more prevalent in Vice City, and disables the radio when you're in them, because instead you'll hear Doris over the communicator.
I got a fat bitch. She's driving near the golf course. Yeah, who on it? Give me the wheel.
Heading over to the first island, the next place I bought was pole position. Now the game doesn't tell the player how they can start earning in this one. Instead the devs just left it up to us to find out. Honestly, I innocently stumbled upon this back in the day, and it's an excuse to listen to some classics. I'm sure these women look much more lifelike back in the early 2000s. You know, when the internet was still young, spending around $300 will be enough to start earning around $4,000 a time. Because money becomes tight, it would take a while before I could afford another property. So this was the perfect time to go back to the payphone missions. Checkout at the check-in restricts the player to only a sniper rifle, as you'll need to scope out the airport for the target, all whilst keeping distance from the lead. Killing the target and getting the briefcase only triggers a 2-star wanted level. But this is quite deceptive, as there'll be standard police and random FBI fucks, and they very nearly ended me. It's only thanks to this parking lot that I managed to survive, and a couple of handy rockets. Getting to ammunition across town is no simple feat, as I triggered the SWAT on my way there, and all the police just deactivate. I don't know, it's always a bit creepy when you finish a mission, and the police just deactivate, and go on their merry way.
I see him!
After doing some odd taxi and ambulance jobs, the last phone mission is one I didn't actually do until after I beat the game, but it makes more sense to talk about it here. Mr. Black has found out about a deal that is taking place on top of the ice cream factory, and he wants a piece of the action. But what I don't get is why don't we know about this, as Tommy owns the factory now. Thankfully, this payphone is also located right by the factory, so you don't have to go far to actually do the mission. And the mission itself, you just gotta kill all the goons inside. If anything else, it's an excuse to use all the different weapons. And brush up on your shooting. Feel Cassidy would be proud. And in a rare act of kindness, Rockstar put a bunch of health and armor pickups in this mission, something that a bunch of other missions could do with. After killing everyone and taking the case, you can just take their helicopter to the helipad, and you're done. And that'll be the last we hear of Mr. Black. Another business Tommy can buy along the way is the Sunshine Autos import garage.
Would you like the tour?
Might as well.
Well, I'm very sad to be selling the dealership to y'all. This is my first investment after I turned pro.
But it's not key to finishing the main story, and it's basically just a fetch quest. But you're gonna need to collect all these vehicles to get the platinum, so it's essential. But getting them all wasn't as painful as it was back in GTA 3. And once you've collected all the cars for Sunshine Autos, you get $9 grand a time. The next place Tommy invests in is the film studio. Tommy is dead set on making this place an earner. Here's also where Dennis Hopper comes back into play, and I still can't believe he's just left us some side missions.
Cut! Who is this idiot? You! Why are you in my space? Why?
What is all this crap? Aliens, fishing poles! Who's ever seen a shark that big? All this stuff's gotta go. Why'd you get in this business, you prick? Huh? For the pussy. That's why. What is this?
This is my art. Security!
Look, you pompous asshole. I own you now. I own all of this. We're gonna turn this place around. I'm gonna make you rich.
You're Tommy Vercetti, but I thought that you were...
That's right. We're gonna be making some changes around here and start making some real money.
Actually, have you ever thought about,
But first, we're gonna need some good-looking broads.
Yeah, girls are fine, but you...
Recruitment Drive is all about finding fresh talents that these movies can fly off the shelves. So who better to star in them than Candy Suggs? There's just one slight problem though.
But you'd have to talk to my agent.
Dealing with him will free up Candy's schedule, but it takes two to tango. So of course, Tommy continues to keep his word to the Colonel, and checks in on Mercedes to see if she's interested in a little bit of extra work.
You interested in doing some movies?
Of course, as long as it's cheap and sleazy.
You're hired. Get in.
Finishing the mission will also trigger another phone call from Sonny.
Where's the goddamn money? Where's the goddamn stuff? And where's my cut? Are you new action? You are making an idiot out of me, Tommy, and I'm not laughing yet.
Check it up on Steve Scott. His creativity knows no bounds.
Candy is a natural. And that new girl, she's insatiable. She went through half the cast and crew before I even took a light reading. Anyway, hey, tomorrow we're going on location to shoot the boat scenes.
Boat scenes? What boat scenes?
The fishermen are in the throes of passion when the giant shark comes in.
What'd I say about the giant shark? I said, no giant shark, all right? Just keep the cameras pointed at the poontang.
Okay. Hey, Tommy, you guys gotta try, right?
Dildo Dodo is essentially that Superman game on the N64, but with more of a creative twist. Flying through each checkpoint will ensure the flyers get decent coverage over Vice City. But be sure not to land on dry land in this aquatic plane, because that'd be mission over. There's also a fuel gauge in this mission to deal with, just to shake it up.
Okay, what's the problem now?
Scott's vision only continues to expand with the next mission. Seriously, he's one of the most underrated characters in this game.
That's when I want to do the scene with the vat of mashed potatoes, but then
I don't give a crap about that. Just keep going. You mentioned something about some legal problem on the phone.
And if anything, Dennis Hopper should have had a larger role. Also, someone had to animate this.
Candy, you know Shrub. You guys get up to anything kinky?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that part of the, was she talking to?
Hey, I can never tell. Anyway, you're probably best following her after the shoot. See if she'll lead you to their new love nest.
Martha's mugshot is a mission that requires a little bit of espionage, and some talent with a camera. That also helps. Following Candy after the shoot, she'll lead Tommy to the target. But this isn't Alex anymore.
Kathy, could you call me Martha?
Oh, Alex. I mean Martha. Whatever you say.
As Martha seems to enjoy the final lingerie. Also, I'd love to know how Candy spots Vercetti all that way away.
Martha, someone's watching. How kinky.
And why the hell does this warrant a 5-star wanted level? It can only be one of two reasons: to ramp up the difficulty this late in the game, or as a commentary on how the law truly works. But it doesn't really cause much trouble here, as you can fly back to the film studio relatively unharmed. With one final mission at the film studios, Steve and Candy seem to be having creative differences.
Honey, can you please keep the Andacon in the shot? He costs more per hour than you do.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
And as this was a time before the internet, Steve and Tommy need to find a creative way to get their film some attention, so it can become the next smash hit.
Well, in the old days, they used to have gala events, stars, limos, the night sky crisscross with searchlights.
Searchlights. I got an idea.
Yeah. Well, little sequin numbers and the limos. Premieres. Oh, yes, ma'am. Of course, ma'am. And the press and the barrage of lights.
G-Spotlight is yet more creative wordplay. It also sees the game make use of a bunch of rooftops that you would never even use. And it's quite wild that this game has so much verticality compared to GTA 3. And amongst everything else, it really helps set these games apart. Now, as for the mission, it's a cool concept, but this can be a bitch to nail, especially on your first try. Thankfully, there's no time limit and you can use the lift unlimited times. And if you hold the acceleration button in the lift, this happens.
3 or 4 radios, all turned on to BCPR. A dog, 15 ice cubes. But I don't feel safe. I'm worried about gangs.
Thankfully, this mission also has checkpoints, where a stairway or a ladder will drop down just to make it easier to get back up. This is just weirdly kind compared to the rest of the missions in this game. That and you don't even need to use the bike. Like, if you're having a bit of trouble, you could just beat this mission with a helicopter. But who would do such a thing? Compared to other missions where they have time limits or restrict you to a vehicle, again, this one's just weirdly kind. Getting to the spotlight will activate this, and I'm probably gonna have to blur this out. That or I get a long shot later on so it's not so in your face. Also, I don't get age restricted or something like that. Completing the film studio missions will rack up $7 a time. Finishing this, it'll also trigger another phone call from our dear mate Paul.
No, I was just calling to see if I could get a part in one of your movies. Back in England, I did a lot of blue stuff, mate. I'm packing more heat than you, my son.
Paul, thanks for the offer. I'll bear that in mind.
Seriously, don't forget about me after all I've done for you.
That's what I'm trying to forget about.
Not all asset missions are critical to beating Vice City, but some of them are pretty cool. Buying and beating the next business though, is key to triggering the ending of Vice City. But I recommend you buy them all, as there's a bunch of decent stuff you can just pass over. After buying the place, Ernest doesn't mess around, as he suggests the most lucrative way of printing.
I'm thinking we might print something. A newspaper, a magazine.
Oh, crap, Sonny. Low-grade crap. I've always fancied printing money. It ain't too hard. You know, I've been doing it on a small scale for years.
Really?
Vice City also tries to be helpful here as well, by offering a cab to take us to the mission location, all for the low price of $9. But at this point I'm just flying everywhere I can. Glad to know Paul appreciates the finer things.
Look at the arse on that.
This guy's actually key in so many missions. Tommy should treat him with a bit of respect. Spilling the beans expects the player to infiltrate a boat and get to the bridge, but who has the time for that when you can just fly in? Unfortunately, the helicopter can only get me off the boat. But from here, that's the hard part done. You just need to get back to the print works, and you lose the heat. Hit the Courier ramps up the printing operations plan, and it also includes Lance, who seems pretty content so far.
Either way, I want green rolling off the presses 5 minutes after I get back. Got it?
Don't you worry, Tommy. We'll be ready.
Me and the boys will be around in the neighborhood in case you need any heat taken care of.
This mission though, what the fuck was going on here? I wish Lance and the boys actually backed Vercetti out for this one. Because for some reason this deal is solely run by women. They're not just any old women either. They're packing some serious heat. They really don't mess around. Because you can't just destroy everything with a rocket launcher, as the deal never takes place, and you can destroy the plates if they're inside a car you blow up. And if you leave it too long, the courier's going to get away, and it's bloody difficult to catch them up. Because as I've mentioned, you can't destroy the car. So after a few attempts, I get creative with my parking. Eventually I manage to get the plates and get the f*** out of there, because this bunch of women are just brutal. Getting the plates back to the printworks finishes up this mission line, and will allow this place to generate $8 a time. This is where Rosenberg calls Tommy, and here is where the endgame of Vice City starts to begin. But there's some more work to be done around the city first.
We got a situation over at Printworks. You better go and check it out. I don't know, some kind of mess or other. Things are messed up. I gotta go.
Cat the Collector kicks off with Ernest having seen better days.
Oh, Tommy. Some mob thugs said they'd come to take their cut. Said it was a Mr. Forello's money. Oh, I feel like crap.
But the old geezer never loses his spirit.
Tommy, rip that guy a new asshole for me. I'm gonna rip him too!
This mission also implements the businesses Tommy's bought so far, as the Mafia are now going around taxing them. But as they're on a motorbike, they get the old Vice City kiss treatment. Seriously, this never gets old. Taking out 3 sets of riders, this will send a message to the Mafia, and also triggers a call from Lance.
Tommy, it's Lance. We got big problems. Come down here right away.
This leads into the last mission, but there's something else I gotta do before I say goodbye to Vice City, because I finally have enough money to buy the Malibu Club, and it'd be time for Tommy to inspect the place. It also becomes a secondary base of operations for a while. No escape requires visiting the VCPD headquarters, and it also for some reason strips Tommy of his suit.
I got it. This guy will blow you away. Ah, nah, that schmuck. He's on the inside.
Where inside?
In a police headquarters cell awaiting transfer.
I think he's about to get paroled.
Doesn't matter too much though, as he'd be cosplaying as a police officer soon enough. Freeing Cam Jones can be done without firing a single shot.
Cam Jones?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm busting you out.
Whatever you say.
This then turns the whole place into that one scene from Terminator, but unfortunately for Tommy, he isn't bulletproof. And I don't know how I managed to get out of here with Jones either.
Shot.
But thankfully an undercover cop car saves the day, and I get the hell out of there. Using the old pay and spray technique, that'd be the safe cracker on board. I'm real glad these Malibu missions made more use of Rosenberg. The guy cracks me up.
We need a stick-up man, you know one?
Hey, Tommy, this stuff keeps you sharp, man. Woo! I could be your stick-up man. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up!
You ain't a stick-up man, you're an idiot. Now get yourself a drink and shut up.
The shootist also introduces a familiar face. Well, in this case a name anyway, as Tommy needs to recruit Phil Cassidy. He's nothing like he was in GTA 3, but he's a lot more fun here.
Son, I can shoot a fly off your head at 80 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I learned it in the Army.
Fly shooting real popular in the Army? Glad I don't pay tax.
But he doesn't just sign up to any rinky-dink outfit, so first we need to prove that Tommy can shoot, then he'll be on board. Thankfully this 3-stage shooting range isn't all that difficult, though I do remember this giving me some trouble when I was younger. The first stage is a classic setup, with yellow mannequins to take out, but the next 2 stages are throwback artwork from GTA 3. And for the longest time I didn't know who this woman was meant to be, as she's basically the poster girl for GTA 3 these days. It turns out it's Misty of all characters.
Hi, I'm Misty.
But yeah, I get the points required, and Phil gets on board.
After shooting like that, if you asked me to be your wife, I'd say yes.
And in this version, he's not been censored just yet. It's so weird the definitive edition took this flag away, especially as I don't think anyone ever made complaints about it. Maybe there was 1 or 2 people, but does that really matter? The Confederate flag on Cassidy's chest makes sense, and it's contextual. It's a bit like for the longest time when you couldn't sell a game in Germany that had a swastika in it. I get why they did this, but come on, we can't just forget history. So it shouldn't be taken out, and people should just get over this. We should learn from history, not forget it. Finishing this will also trigger the final mission from Mr. Black, but as I've already covered that, it's time to get the driver.
Get to the payphone in Little Havana.
Now all this job needs is a driver, who actually doesn't do much driving later on, but I'll get to that. They might as well just use Rosenberg.
Yeah, we need a driver.
Tommy, I'll do it. I can drive.
You want Hillary, mister. Not some smart-talking law school chump.
And yes, Hillary wants a race before he agrees to drive.
Consider it this way. I'll drive for you if, and only if, you can drive properly.
I remember this being super difficult as a kid, but these days, Hillary isn't always cracked up to be, especially as I use the handbrake more as an adult, whilst back when I was a kid, I definitely didn't. And for once, the police actually come in handy during this mission, as they get in Hillary's way long enough for me to win the race. Now it's time for the job, which eventually would become the DNA for GTA 5, with its story and online heists. Maybe I'll cover the game one day, but there's no fucking way I'm getting the platinum. Perfecting all the online missions is like having another job. Back to the mission at hand, Vercetti's got it all planned out.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Look, it's easy. Haven't you ever seen a movie? We walk into the bank, we wave the gun around, and leave very rich men.
I also like the fact that Hillary mentions he doesn't know what he's doing here, as this guy is literally fucking useless. He doesn't even drive Tommy and the rest of the bank.
I'll drive.
Give me your license. Great! A passenger. Wait till I tell the group about this.
Why is he here? Getting to the bank, the trio decide to join the Voorhees family for this heist. And then going inside the bank, this stuff was kind of mind-blowing back in the day. Any mission that took place inside a building with scripted events was a novelty in GTA back in 2002, even if it is just walking from point A to point B and then back again.
Damn! It's a flangy 9000. This could take hours to crack. Or 5 minutes if you could find a manager.
With all that busy work done, of course something's got to go wrong.
Stay here. You try anything and you're dead. I'm gonna check on Phil. I'll be right back.
Because there hasn't been that much shooting yet. And then the SWAT drop in for some target practice. Going outside there's more of them, but Hillary isn't anywhere to be seen. Until he turns up and well, this happens.
Hey guys! Get in! I got you covered!
What a waste of time. Now, as far as I'm aware, only Phil needs to survive this mission, and if Cam gets killed, he'll drop the briefcase. Because killing Phil would create a time paradox. Shame there's not a 4th wall breaking reference to this if he dies.
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
As is tradition though, I always save a rocket for the SWAT in this mission. Losing the heat and then getting back to Cam's can openers, the survivors get a hefty payday. And I've just realised Cam did die in that mission. And it was only because Phil mentioned it.
We're rich! Rich! Hey, Cam didn't make it.
I went back and checked my footage, and yeah, he died. Didn't even notice. Sorry mate, RIP in peace. And for some reason, Mercedes and Kent Paul are both just waiting here.
Tommy, would you like a massage?
Well, hi there, Mercedes. Yeah, I'm a little tense.
What I tell you, Tommy? What I tell you? Ben Swat better watch out when Kent Paul is in town.
Were they meant to be in the Malibu missions and then just cut out? Anyway, that's the end of the Malibu Club missions, meaning this place will now generate 10 grand a time. This will also trigger a phone call from Phil, because of course we need to see how he loses that arm.
Ain't had so much fun since the Reg and Nom, pal. Anyhow, if you need anything, you call on me, you hear?
Shame he doesn't get a fucking random red one like C-3PO in The Force Awakens.
You probably don't recognize me because of the red arm.
Seriously, what the hell was up with that? I'm just going to pretend it was a Phantom Pain reference and move on. Rosenberg is also starting to feel the heat, but Vercetti isn't phased at all.
I don't know about you, but there's something about a man threatening to murder my family which really scares the crap out of me. What are you gonna do?
Ken, take it easy.
I am calm. Calm as a man can be when he's fearing for his life.
Stay off the idiot fuel and look after yourself. No one's gonna take us out. I'll see you later.
Gunrunner kicks off the Phil Cassidy mission line with a bang.
Run! Run!
Phil will eventually be the place to get some heavier hardware, but first Tommy's gonna have to deal with some rival arms dealers.
Shit, Phil. You drink that stuff?
Hell, you don't have to drink it. Just a good whiff will set you off.
Listen, Phil, you said you could fix me up with some firepower.
Sure thing. There's some Mexican gun runner. Been doing me for business of late. He does his weekly run about now.
Driving into them will knock off the merchandise. Then all that's left to do is fill them with lead. And you've got to love the backup arrives on scooters of all things. Dumb fucks. Don't they know this is GTA? And collecting all the guns will trigger another phone call from Phil.
I got me some extra strength moonshine. Nearing fermentation time, and I was wondering if you'd fancy having a shot. Seriously, Tommy. If you like a drink, or if you need to strip paint, this stuff will make a man out of you.
Boomshine Saigon answers the questions we've all been waiting for. How does Phil lose that arm? It's much more interesting than how C-3PO got that red arm.
Come over here because there's something I want to show you. Something.
Oof, God, should I be able to smell that from way over here?
Also, I love a good drink me, but Phil takes it to the next level. Even I'd be afraid to try the Boomshine.
Ta-da! Oh, damn!
Honestly, feels like he only lost an arm here. Driving him to the hospital is also actually quite hard. The camera really nails the drunk effect, and the controls feel pretty loose here too. But apparently there are too many Viet Cong in the hospital, so Phil prefers a doctor off the books. Finishing the mission will grant Tommy the access to some real hardware, and Phil will call up just to let us know he's all fine.
I want to thank you for helping me out back there, son. Damn Charlie, he'll always ambush you somewhere or the other. Anyway, the wound is healing well, and it means I'll no longer be defrauding the government on my disability check.
Keep your friends close to the final mission in Vice City, as the story is concerned anyway.
I like fish. I love fish. I love them as pets in bowls, or as food on a plate, but as much as I love them, I don't want to sleep with them, okay?
Even though I don't mind where this goes, it all feels like Lance is jumping the gun, and like he's a totally different character.
Tommy! What? No big hugs for your old buddy?
I've had 15 years out of the loop. I'm a bit rusty on family etiquette.
Because this feels like it's all going one way, and then Sonny shows up.
There's 3 mil in the cases.
How many was it, 10? No, 11 men. That's how you get to be called the Howard Butcher.
You sent me to kill one man. One man! They knew I was coming, Sonny.
Tommy, watch your tone. Anyone would think you blame me for that unfortunate set of circumstances.
Just take the money.
Get the damn cash. You know, Tommy, I did what I could for you. I pulled strings, called in favors. I was your friend, Tommy. I hoped you'd see sense, see what's good for business. I trusted you, Tommy, and you disappointed me. But at least someone in your chicken shit organization knows how to do business.
You bastard, Lance. This betrayal hurts.
Sorry, Tommy. This is Vice City. This is business.
You sold us out.
No, I sold you out, Tommy. I sold you out. The real cash is upstairs in the safe.
So, Tommy, what was the big plan? You think I just take the fake cash, save face, and run away with my tail between my legs?
No. I just wanted to piss you off before I kill you.
Then yeah, the mission starts and for some reason Tommy's in his office. Sonny and the rest have vanished, and Vercetti's got to make a stand to defend his cash, and killing enough of the goons will trigger Lance to come out of hiding.
No one to cover your ass now, eh, Tommy? You're going down, you backstabbing prick. Oh, you think so?
Now there's seemingly an unlimited amount of these guys, so you're best off just going after Lance. Tommy will lose a bit of cash, but it's not all that much. This mission though, is honestly more than just a little fuck. With so many bastards on the roof, I eventually just resort to a rocket. Here is where the targeting system is shown its age, and it could be much better, as the game always wants to aim for the guy I don't want to shoot. So after putting Lance down, that just means Sonny remains.
You took 15 years from me, Sonny, and now I'm gonna make you pay.
You still don't get it, do you? I own you, Tommy. Those 15 years were mine to spend.
But he's got a few little helpers, of course. Sonny also takes his fair share of bullets to put down, like Tom Sizemore is embodying his role from Saving Private Ryan. I don't remember him being this goddamn bulletproof. I also like at this late stage in the game, there's text reminding the player to go for health and armor. Yeah, thanks for the hint. But sending Sonny to the fishes will finally bring Vice City to a close. And after all that, Rosenberg is still at Tommy's side.
Oh my God, Tommy, what happened?
What does it look like?
It looks like you ruined your suit, and Tommy, that was a beautiful suit. Tommy, what on earth happened?
Had a disagreement with a business associate. You know how it is.
Tommy, I have a disagreement. I send them an angry letter. Maybe I pee in their mailbox. I don't start World War III. You know, maybe you should speak to my shrink.
That stupid prick Lance.
Tommy, I never liked that guy, okay? He's neurotic, he's insecure, he's self-centered. The guy's an asshole. I'm glad you took him out.
I don't think we're gonna be getting any more heat from up north either. Because there ain't no up north anymore. It's all down south now.
Wait, does that mean what I think it means? Tommy, baby!
What do you think it means?
That we're in charge. I mean that you're in charge. Oh, Tommy!
You know, Ken, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful business relationship. After all, you're a conniving, backstabbing two-bit thief, and I'm a convicted psychotic killer and drug dealer.
I know. Ain't it just beautiful?
This is the real Vice City power trip right here. And even after the credits roll, a bunch of characters are going to call Tommy to check in.
I heard about Lance. What a little prick, huh?
Yes.
Never trust a man who walks the streets in his pajamas, that's what I say. Glad you killed him. I hope it was painful for the prick.
I think it was. You know, I just didn't think he was like that.
Some are also quite funny.
I wanted to ask you about Mercedes.
Okay, what about her?
Oh, Tommy, I hear these stories, all these stories. I don't know what to think. Maybe she thinks she could do what she likes. But Tommy, tell me, is it true?
Is what true?
These stories I hear. She really going to be a lawyer. Tommy, the shame. You know, we Cortez are a proud family. We would never allow a daughter of ours to become a lawyer. Please tell me it isn't so. I don't think I could take it.
Oh, Colonel, I can assure you, Mercedes is never going to become a lawyer. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. Tommy, thank you. The shame would be unbearable.
And it's just a satisfying way to cap off this classic.
Oh my good lord, my son, you will not believe the quality of the brass I just encountered. Streetwalker or something just down in Little Havana, mate. Said her name was Mercedes or something. Oh my god, mate, you got to check this bird out. Could strip the lead out of a pencil. Said I was the best you ever had, and all. Keep your potato skin floppy, seeing ya.
If you're going for the Platinum Trophy in Vice City, the game is going to be far from over, and there's going to be countless more hours of gameplay yet to come. Seriously, getting the Godfather rank doesn't take the cannoli, it takes the piss. Whoever did this legitimately as well. Back in the day or even a decade or so later on the PS4, I don't know anyone that ever interacted with this system, or even mentioned it. And to do this without boosting would become a second job. And no doubt this is the reason why so many players don't have the Platinum in Vice City, and it's by far the most demanding of the PS2 trilogy ports. Some people say this was nerfed in the Definitive Edition, and by looking at the lists, they actually made San Andreas harder, and by harder I mean more drawn out. Look, I'm not a fan of Platinum trophies being handed out like Skittles these days.
It's a fruity delicious, fruity. Oh, I love them Skittles.
Share the rainbow.
But man, there are points where I question my life choices getting this platinum. Cramming helicopters into a garage and then entering the destroy all vehicles cheat is by far the fastest way to pop this. And you don't just enter it a few times, no, more like hundreds. It took so long that I switched the TV input over, watched a couple of shows, and even an episode of Joe Rogan, all whilst entering the cheat over and over again. R2, L2, R1, L1, L2, R2, square, triangle, circle, triangle, L2, L1. Over and over and over and over. I just needed this to stop. I almost cramped up my hands doing this, but I put in so much work so far I needed this platinum. This is one of my favourite games of all time, but getting the platinum just isn't recommended. Even though this game was delisted years ago, people are still popping this platinum to this day, and bless them for doing so because getting to the rank of Godfather is no simple feat. And if anyone watching this video got this legitimately, let me know, because you either had to have a crazy level of dedication, or you had no job. I love you Vice City, but getting the platinum really tested me. But yeah, that was Vice City. Still one of, if not the strongest game in the series for me. Even though I'm not out here saying it plays better than San Andreas or 5, because I'm not deluded. Though the story and mission structure just feels like Rockstar at their best. They really hit a perfect balance in this game, and they built on the foundations that 3 laid so well, before they would go on to cram anything they could in San Andreas. But I'll get into that in the next video. And it still blows my mind this game was only meant to be an expansion, and the devs turned around such a legendary game in basically a year. I've beaten Vice City countless times, and for the most part I never get tired playing it. I still remember staying over a mate's house and beating it in one night, putting an all-nighter where we would take turns playing every other mission. And in between those turns, the other person was playing Pokemon Yellow. I was so tired the next day, if I closed my eyes I could see Vice City, and I could just hear that Pokemon music all throughout the day. What a time to be alive. It's a random memory nobody needed to hear, but I'd always associate it with this game. Thanks to anyone that made it this far. I'll be covering the third and final game in the original PS2 trilogy next. But until then, why not help a lad out and give me a like, and maybe a sub? Becoming a member would be cool too, but it's not required. Anyway, enough of all that. I've been Benroy, and until next time, I'll see you all in San Andreas. Until the next video, no more games.